car. AM is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time's running out. Please text the two letters AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
You are a regular nuclear meltdown. You better cool off.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you get to join us in the chat and get all of those comments that you've been, I know you've all been holding it back on your Facebook. You've not been
I have
putting it out there.
I have
at
not
all.
posted 27 times in the last 10 hours. I have not been awake for the better part of 2 days. And I just have to say, sitting in this chair today, I feel great again.
Not to make it too obvious.
Oh, I mean, I'm just saying, I feel great. You should feel great. We should all feel great.
Jeremy does live by the one philosophy of trust Vegas.
Oh, yeah, you should. Next time, hey, maybe we could just not with the political ads and we just look at Vegas and go, that's what's going to happen.
They figured it out.
Because they batted 1,000 last night.
Welcome into the program. It is the first Power Rankings Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing stuff. It's football. We're going to talk about football. We're going to play we're going to have some tunes in the bumpers that Tank and I have carefully and meticulously handcrafted for this here program.
NFL trade deadline has come and gone, so today's Power Rankings will reflect the moves that were made.
Yeah, and the trades that we didn't get to talk about. Tre'Davious White was traded for one used vape cartridge that didn't have any juice left in it, and a player that I forgot played for the Houston Texans now plays for the San Francisco 49ers.
Who's that?
Kayla Davis.
I don't even.
The defensive tackle.
I don't even know who that is. Interesting.
You don't really need to.
No.
I'm not going to lie to you. You don't really need to because it doesn't matter.
I mean, Tre'Davious White, I was shocked when I saw his name in the headlines this morning because I went, wow, that's the first headline-worthy thing he's done in about 5 years.
Yes. You remember when he used to be good? Because he used to be.
I mean, all-pro. I mean, he was like number one in the league.
And
then, not so much.
And then he got hurt. And now he's not good anymore. But he'll be a fine addition to the Baltimore Ravens.
Precisely. I mean, sometimes that's all you need, right? You just need another body in there. Maybe you need that veteran presence in the locker room to help some of the young guys.
Yeah, you need Mr. Nate Wiggins to not be on the field because he's not good.
Try to get him to learn up like, I don't know, Arthur Molay or somebody. I don't know.
You have said that dude's name way.
Because
are you like related to him?
No,
or something?
Arthur Molay is like it is like the most random name in the NFL. Like that doesn't sound like a football player to me. That sounds like a guy who, I don't know, is going to do your taxes or might be an undertaker in some town somewhere in, I don't know, eastern France.
He has an art gallery opening that he really wants to show you his impressionist paintings.
Right. Welcome to the Molay Gallery. Doesn't sound like a football player to me. Anyhow, Power rankings Wednesday. Any thoughts before we get into the power rankings on the first release of the college football playoff rankings?
Nope.
No thoughts.
It's exactly what I thought it would be.
Oregon at the top. Ohio State's 2. Georgia 3.
Can I just go ahead and say I already hate that we reseed this? Well, the conference champions have to get the buys. Do they, though? Because when you see BYU, you just – one of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong.
Yeah, you don't necessarily.
I mean, it's fine. They're good. They're not the fourth best team in the country.
No.
So maybe, moving forward, we could work on just seeding the teams where they belong. Why is that so hard for sports entities to understand? Hey, you want a god-awful conference. Do you want a cookie?
NFL playoffs. We've been screaming it for years.
A tenet of this show every day, but especially today.
Mm-hmm.
Stats don't care about your feelings, and neither do facts.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, you ready to get into the power rankings for Week 10?
It's like Drake. Start from the bottom. Now we're here.
Absolutely. Worst team in the league at number 32 is... Those?
The kitties? Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, okay, I thought you were just going to smash on the Panthers after they got their second win of the year. All right.
They bumped up. They leveled up.
Jacksonville Jaguars, worst team in the league. Why?
Have you watched them play recently? Because they're awful.
Why would anybody watch them play?
Being tortured in a prison somewhere, stuck in an ER waiting room and can't change the channel because it's behind prison bars.
They almost completed the comeback against the Eagles.
Woo!
They only lost by 3 to the Packers.
Woo! But they didn't. Close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and, well, not politics. Mm-hmm. So, Jacksonville's awful. I genuinely cannot tell you a good piece of the Jacksonville Jaguars at this point.
Not even Evan Ingram? He's fine.
He's a tight end that couldn't block me. Mm-hmm. That's the one you're hanging your hat on?
He's a good receiving tight end. There's not much to enjoy.
Hey, how many yards does Evan Ingram have this year? You love mentioning
I have no idea.
It's 223.
Is that it?
That's it.
Yikes.
He's only played 5 games.
Ooh.
Yeah, this team is terrible. The only upside is that you do have I think, soon-to-be great wide receiver in Brian Thomas. He's hurt right now, but that's at least a piece that you got right. It's also good that you finally figured out, hey, maybe we should stop giving the ball to Travis Etienne because he is awful. If I live to be 200 years old, I will not understand how an NFL personnel guy went, yeah, we're going to use a first-round pick on Travis Etienne. Never get it.
Well, I mean, you had to pair him up with his quarterback, right?
Yeah, you could have done that in like the 5th round where he belonged.
I don't know. Other teams were high on him, weren't they?
No. If other teams were jumping off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge too?
Well, no, but it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can't expect, common sense. That's crazy talk.
It's a brutally bad team.
Mm-hmm. We have a super chat to get to.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And again, you can follow us on the YouTubes.
You're gonna have to read the super chats because I'm not gonna lie, my eyes hurt a little bit and struggling with the old sight lines today.
It's okay. All right. Soaring Eagle. We're going to take this slow because I haven't pre-read this.
No, you're good. Okay, I've already read it. I just can't read it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I can't talk into a mic to my left and read it to my right.
Wait a minute. Are you setting me up for some kind of Ron Burgundy thing here where I'm just going to read this thing and then get in trouble? Soaring Eagle.
Short for a fringe for a what? Never mind.
Soaring Eagle with the super chat says, okay, on day 1, Trump should sign an executive order that allows, if you vote early and get an I voted sticker, to scan it into your TV, and that replaces all the political ads with normal ones for the rest of the election cycle. That's not bad.
That's actually that's a visionary idea.
You know who I bet has the answer to that? Elon Musk.
Oh, for sure.
I bet he could figure out how to make that work. Put like some kind of RFID chip inside the I voted sticker. It's got some kind of, I don't know, the little QR code on it or something that you scan. Or
did you just call it an RFID chip?
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody say that.
RFID?
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
I've just never heard anybody turn
Really?
that into a word instead of the 4-letter abbreviation.
Really? Huh. Yeah. I'll always call them RFID chips.
Yeah, abbreviations only work to call them words if the abbreviation turns into a word.
Nah. That's fuddy-duddy stuff.
That does feel like a job for one Elon Musk, and I'm totally down for it.
Indeed.
I am so happy that I haven't heard one political ad today. That makes me just giddy.
Mm-hmm.
Giddy. Even giddier than I already was.
which is
Wednesday.
quite giddy.
Yeah, because it's Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Especially great Wednesdays. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. For now.
For now. All right, at number 31 in the Week 10 Power Rankings.
The New England Patriots.
But, I mean, Drake May. Drake. I mean, he's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah. I think he will
end
up
being
be
good.
Where I'm sitting right now with the rookie quarterbacks in this class, Jaden Daniels is 1, 2, and 4. I think Drake May will end up being the 2.
I'm still just upset he ruined my parlay. I had New England in the money line this week, and it didn't go well.
You had 2 minutes with a rookie quarterback who's notorious for throwing interceptions. That should not have even surprised you a little bit.
Well, it was one of those things where you hit you hit the first 3 of a 5-legger, and all you need is just one miracle play. And you're going, you know what, Drake? Maybe you can make some magic happen. And he couldn't do it. Just kind of irritated me because, I, of course, ended up hitting the 4th leg and then went, oh, Jeremy said poodle rule. I'm an idiot.
To me, he's the second best quarterback in this class. He's past Caleb Williams. I already had him ahead of Caleb Williams anyway, so this ain't shocking me at all. He looks like an NFL quarterback. He looks like he's going to be a franchise guy in New England. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Stone Sports Podcast, who is a New England Patriots fan, has already chimed in and said, he's fantastic, that's my quarterback, that should tell you everything you need to know.
Absolutely.
Because who's not doing that right now? Fans of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, not so much. I like I like Drake May. Obviously, big believer as a Tar Heel fan myself. I think they're going to be just fine. And I also like the fact that there were several rumors around the trade deadline that there were pieces that they could sell off, and I like the fact that they didn't. I think Jonathan Jones's name was mentioned several times.
Yeah. Look, they have good young pieces. They're just 2 years away because you had Bill Belichick that was, setting draft picks on fire the way Tank does parlays.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Hoffman gave you a piece of advice in the YouTube chat.
Oh, yeah?
You can cash those out early, right?
I thought about it, and then I didn't. I just didn't.
I'm going to give you a piece of advice.
Yeah.
When you decide you want to bet, you should come to me, and you should run it by me first. Or if I'm not around, you take the dollars that you were about to bet, and you go to the bank. And you get those converted into quarters. And then one by one, you flush them down your toilet. And if you get lucky, eventually the septic tank will back up and you'll feel like a winner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
I mean, I did think about the cash out early option.
Yeah, it's a great
Then later in the night, I had a 4-legger going. Minnesota was the last leg of my parlay, and I chickened out. And I went, nope, cashing this one out. Not risking it. And I should have kept it because I would have doubled my money or doubled what I cashed out. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. You live and you learn, right? Sometimes you swing and a miss.
Don't do that. I know what you're doing.
What?
Don't tempt me into saying things. I've already had my fun for now.
Okay. All right. Anyway. New England at number 31. How about number 30?
The New Orleans Saints.
You just lost to the Carolina Panthers. So.
Boy, you're bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on the bright side, every day is a great day for Dennis Allen to not be your head coach anymore.
Yes.
And I'm very happy for you in that. I just look at New Orleans. Who is the piece on that team that you're excited about? I got Brian Thomas in Jacksonville.
Chris Olave.
You mean the guy that's now on his 5th concussion in 3 years?
Did he have another one this week?
That's why he didn't finish the game.
Oh,
because
yeah,
he got
that's
hospital
right.
balled by
That's
the Carolina
right.
Panthers.
Yeah.
That's 5 times he's done that. That's the guy you're jumping up and down about? I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
He has the same issue that Tua Tagovailoa does. It's not as bad, but I'm looking at Chris Olave right now going, you know what? You played on a team at one time with Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr., and you are clearly the third best receiver of that group. I can't be excited about that, especially if I'm New Orleans, who just came off your franchise player being Michael Thomas. I'm a little sensitive to having the injury-prone wide receiver be my star.
Mm-hmm.
You're not good at quarterback. Your running back's getting older. Your defense is getting older. You just traded your best corner.
It was time, though, wasn't it?
I don't disagree, and I like the deal that they made. But that's a team that, and I'm going to say the same thing to you that I say to Tank about August 30th every year. You should draft better. Because if you drafted better, your team would be better, and then you would be better.
But Rashid Shaheed, moving forward, I mean, obviously not this year.
The guy who just blowed his knee up.
I mean, it'd be all right.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
with
I see what
every
you're
guy
saying.
that you've got, you just go, yeah, but.
I do, and that's why I'm not surprised to see them down here.
There's no team in the NFL that's going to have a head coaching opening that is more interesting to me than the Saints. Because I think there will be a coach that falls in love with that spot, because New Orleans is a great city.
Mm-hmm.
They have a very loyal fan base.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really curious as to who that is. And for the love of all that's good and holy, can it be somebody with an offensive background?
It would be nice. How deep is that pool, though? I mean, is there a long line of hot shots that are ready to take over teams? Because I feel like we've kind of thinned out the pool here over the last few years, because we've had like 8 coaching changes every year.
Well, I mean, you have roughly 6 per year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the top candidates to me, unfortunately, if you're New Orleans, the vast majority of them are defensive guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mike Vrabel is the one that everybody's going to want to talk to. I think Brian Flores is going to be on the list. Bill Belichick's going to be on the list. Then you get into that second tier. I mean, because look, Ben Johnson's not taking the Saints job.
No.
I hate to break your heart. He's just not doing it. He's got too many options.
Yeah, I'm not taking a job with Derek Carr.
The one that makes the most sense is Aaron Glenn. And you bring one of Ben's guys as your offensive coordinator. The only problem is that Ben's going to get the first shot at one.
Mm-hmm.
I would wager he's going to call plays, so you might be able to poach one. Or you stack him with a guy that's been a head coach before.
Yeah. Clint Kubiak.
As the head coach?
No, I'm saying you make Aaron Glenn, you keep Clint as the offensive coordinator.
I think that's going to be a tough sell.
I think so. I agree with you. I'm just, saves you the trouble of having to look for the next loser. Let's get to take that job. Sorry. We all hate the Saints. I think we can all agree with that.
I don't. I love their fan base. And I can't wait to
I'm a Bucs fan, and we got a lot of Panther fans. Like, we got a lot of people who don't really like the Saints.
Somebody clip that. I'll put it on the television in the back of the Parks Ford Mobile Studio, and I'll blare it through the streets of New Orleans while we're down there for the Super Bowl.
Feel free.
Somebody come whip his.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Power Rankings Wednesday rolls on next.
Find a career opportunity at the WNC Mountain Strong Career Fair. Employers in Western North Carolina are looking for qualified candidates like you. More than 60 companies will be hiring for jobs in our area. Find your future at the WNC Mountain Strong Career Fair on Friday, November 8th from 10 to 4 at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville. Free parking vouchers and free community resources on site. Learn more at ashevillechamber.org/jobs. That's ashevillechamber.org/jobs.
If you're living with chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, I've got exciting news for you.
Emmett Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Famer.
Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. Call my guys at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes, but to people like you.
At QC Kinetics, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies, regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Listen, it's all about getting your life back. Playing touch football with kids, walking upstairs pain-free, getting back on a job, and patients at QC Kinetics are raving about the results.
QC Kinetics. Call to learn more about restorative treatments that can get you back in the game.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
This is where it starts, where your story begins. This is the trail you blaze yourself. And step by step, you get stronger, faster, better. This is where it starts. How will you finish? Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, the dog water teams of the NFL.
We're having a good time here at the studio today.
It's fine. I mean, it's a cheery atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a wonderful day. Some would say great.
It's great to feel great.
And we're happy to be at work today. We're happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's get back into the power rankings here. Power Rankings Wednesday, number 29.
The Carolina Panthers.
Oh, well, Bryce Young got a win. I did think it was interesting. You realize that was the first time that he had been in a victory formation since he was in college. I did not know that until I was listening to the Adam Gold show the other day, and he mentioned it. It's like, oh, yeah, because the only wins that they had with him on the field were walk-off field goals.
Yes.
So the first victory formation of his NFL career against the New Orleans Saints.
Hey, you got Dennis Allen fired. Bryce was competent.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I say, serviceable.
Uh-huh. Not necessarily good.
No, but you look around. Look, if there's anything you can take away from that win over New Orleans, their three leading receivers were all rookies.
Mm-hmm.
It was Jatavian Sanders, the tight end of the future, Xavier Legette, and Jalen Coker. I think you have pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe you need a true one. Because I don't think either one of those guys is a true one.
I would agree. But right now you have a young nucleus of offensive talent that you could do some stuff with here. Like your skill positions, you go out and get one guy that can be the one. Don't go crazy. Don't make like a huge trade and give up draft capital and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's necessary. I mean, Would you trade like a 2 for who? Like a Stephon Diggs?
It certainly wouldn't be Stephon Diggs. But if DK Metcalf were to come available or somebody like that, yeah, I would be interested in giving
he'd
up.
Look good in blue too. He would.
That was a weird way you just said that.
Yeah. You don't think so?
It was weird how you said it.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, why you gotta make it weird?
I mean, no judgment. that was weird. I'm just going to tell you, if you said what you just said about DK Metcalf about me, I would go get in my truck and drive home. Like, I want you to think about what you just said.
100%. I apologize for making it weird. I guess I made it weird.
I want you to take the evening to think about what you did, and we can try to do this again tomorrow. But I mean, that's where I'm at with Carolina. Now you got to do that on the defense. But if you're being honest, just look at the first draft class of Dan Morgan. I think you hit on Jatavian Sanders. He's getting better as time goes along. You get a look at Jonathan Brooks this week. I like Xavier Leggett a lot. And you hit on an undrafted guy in Jalen Coker. That's a pretty good start. I mean, we talk about draft classes all the time. If you got 4 hits, that's a pretty good class.
Now, can we translate that into an offensive line at some point?
I don't think the line's that bad. I think the quarterback holds on to the ball too long. There's a big difference between those two things. So, I see things to be encouraged by. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your keister if you're a Carolina Panther fan, but at the same time, I see reasons to be excited.
Okay, at number 28.
Oh, gotta get to the list. Gotta pull it up, stupid. The Las Vegas Raiders. Now, let's look at the Raiders conversely. What do you have to be excited about, per se? Your defensive line's really good.
Yes.
And then?
That's all I got.
You have cool jerseys. There's a candle in your stadium that lights up and glows real pretty.
You got a cool new stadium.
Your owner's haircut cannot get worse.
Aside from that, this team doesn't have anything. I don't feel like this team has any leadership, really.
Do you think Tom Brady changes that?
No.
I do.
Really?
I do. I think Tom's going to be way more involved than you think.
Well, I hope he's better at owning a team than he is at broadcasting.
He couldn't be worse.
That's not true.
Unless he came in and just set the building on fire day one because somebody stole his stapler. That is about the only way he could be worse.
He just started doing Dan Snyder stuff. That would be good.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
No.
No. I mean, it could theoretically go worse, but the chances are it's not gonna be. He's not good. He doesn't have it.
He's weird. Tom Brady's
weird. Like, he's clunky. He talks too long.
Tom Brady's like your really attractive friend that has no game, and he just walks up to girls and goes, "Would you like to see my coloring book?" And dude, all you had to do was not speak. You could have told her you were deaf, and it would have worked. You'd have been fine. But you opened your mouth and you screwed it up.
Yeah. Has not gone well. No, I don't. I don't know that it helps.
Here's where I think it helps. It gives you a little bit of credibility. I'm looking at, I can't stop putting Shedeur Sanders with the Raiders because that's the only spot that makes sense. Because it's a big enough market. It's out west. It's close to Colorado, close-ish to Colorado. And I keep thinking Tom Brady feels like the guy that Deion Sanders is going to handpick to turn his son into a franchise quarterback. And look, I am not as down on Shedeur Sanders as people think. My problem is I think he's going to be viewed in much like Caleb Williams. You think you're getting one thing. You're getting something completely different. And that changes how you treat him.
Is he better than Caleb?
Yes.
By a lot? Yes. Between Jaden Daniels...
He's between Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams.
I was going to say, between them, is he closer to Caleb or closer to Jaden?
Closer to Caleb, but I would say he lands right about Drake May.
Okay.
In terms of my fondness for a franchise quarterback, I would say Drake May and Shedeur Sanders are very similar.
Yeah.
Nobody doubts your talent. I do doubt some of your experience because you haven't really played against actual defenses. And I think you need to be brought along slowly. My fear is that he won't. He goes to Vegas, they load up and wind up with a number one receiver, whoever that is. They try to build out the offense with Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers and whoever else they bring in. And they think that just makes them a contender, and it doesn't.
Yeah. He's got a lot of talent. I find it maddening when I'm watching him because and this may be more about his team than him, but I feel like he's trying to be Patrick Mahomes on every play. Does that make sense? I mean, I feel like he's just always running around looking to make the highlight play, and that doesn't always translate to the NFL. So that's what worries me about Shedeur.
Gambit fan had a comment for you. Tank, is there something about DK Metcalf you're not telling us? Because if so, feel free to keep not telling us. That's a great line. Stone Sports Podcast said it was the tone of your voice and the way you looked up dreamily when you said it. Felt like crimes.
Well, I apologize. I'm
glad everybody else saw that the same way I did. He looked
I like DK Metcalf as a player.
He looked like a teenage girl in 1994 looking at a poster of Mario Lopez as AC Slater.
I've always liked the Panthers uniforms. And he wouldn't have to change the color of his hair either.
Speaking of, I'm glad you said it that way. He once looked at me. I can't remember where we were. But we were out in public.
Is this
there's this beautiful girl that's standing right beside me.
It was at the basketball game. She was a cheerleader.
Yeah,
for
that's
like
right,
East Tennessee State or Greensboro or somebody.
Absolutely breathtakingly beautiful girl standing right beside me.
Yes.
And I went to say something to him, and he cut me off and went, "I love her hair." And I just got up and walked away. I was like, I don't know what to do with that. I need to get away from you.
He basically
right now.
said the same thing Gambit's saying. He looked at me and said, "I'm going to need you never to say that again."
Yeah, I need you to stop. Why do you keep saying weird things? Because it makes me feel weird?
Look, I'm a little OCD, and I'm a sucker for symmetry, and that was the most symmetrical hair I had ever seen.
Tank, I want you to use this line because it's something I think about. If it's not something you would walk up to the person and say to their face, you should not say it to your buddy.
Oh, I would probably 100% say that to her face. I mean, it might take a couple of drinks, but I would be like, "I love your hair."
You know, we all love New Tank, but New Tank is not a finished product. I think he might need 3 to 5 more minutes for the yeast to make New Tank rise into a full cookie.
You don't put yeast in cookies, but that's another story for another day. You're in the Sportsocracy.
That's one of those things that you could have left in your head. You could just take a nap, fold it up, put it in your pocket, save that bad boy for another day.
It's ESPN Asheville when we come back.
I'm going to get Tank to shoot a gun or spit or something during this break.
Time to get just a bit outside when we come back.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A lot of mentions of rain, but really not much developing here in terms of accumulating rainfall, less than 1/10 of an inch, so that barely wets the ground. Better chances as you go well south of us, like South Carolina south. This afternoon, a lot of clouds, maybe a passing shower or two. 72 degrees at best chance early because I think the sun's going to try to break out. Then the clouds are going to roll back in later tonight, maybe some showers around as we drop to 60. Tomorrow, some showers in the morning, patchy fog, then sunshine, 75. Friday, beautiful day, sunshine 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by the North Carolina Department of Public Safety. In North Carolina, more than half of all firearm deaths are suicides. If you own a gun, you can make a life-saving difference. Lock it up every time. Visit ncsafe.org to learn more.
To all you tool people out there, has Harbor Freight got a deal for you? Big savings every single day this November. Because we know that right now, when the price of everything only seems to go up, you need a place where prices stay low. So shop in-store or online for quality tools you can trust at prices you'll love every day. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Millions protect their homes from power outages with Generac home standby generators. Would you like to be part of this lucrative industry? Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer, has limited franchise opportunities in your area. Learn more at generatorfranchise.com.
To all you tool people out there, has Harbor Freight got a deal for you? Big savings every single day this November. Because we know that right now, when the price of everything only seems to go up, you need a place where prices stay low. So shop in-store or online for quality tools you can trust at prices you'll love every day. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
We need your help to protect your right to AM radio in your car. AM is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time is running out. Please text the 2 letters AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. Text AM to 52886.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It is time to get just a bit outside. And Mike Gundy, he's the next one in line to apologize because, you know, he did something that the bosses didn't like.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure he was wrong.
This is another you be the judge, like the Jason Kelsey story where the guy said a, slur about his brother and then he broke the guy's phone. ESPN made him apologize. Well, on Monday at his news conference, Oklahoma State coach Mike Gundy, the I'm 40 guy, he's much more older than 40 now. He's in fact been there for 20 years now at Ohio State. Why do I keep calling it Ohio State? I have no idea. OSU, I guess, is running through my brain.
Why did you tell that girl you liked her hair?
It's beautiful,
Because you're a weird dude.
Facts don't care about your feelings, man. Oklahoma State coach Mike Gundy said, I apologize to those who my comments during Monday's media call offended. My intent was not to offend any of our fans who have supported us and this program through the years. So what did he say? Well, he's in the middle of a 6-game losing streak for the first time in
That's not good.
His 20-year tenure, 19 years, however long it's been. 0-6 in conference play. It's not been good. And at the press conference, he said, quote, kind of the synopsis of all of this is that this place has had tremendous success for 18 and a half years or 19. I can't do math real good. That is a direct quote. Nothing wrong with what he said there. And then he followed that up with, unfortunately in life, most people are weak, and as soon as things start to not go as good as they want, they fall apart and they panic. I mean, he's not wrong.
Well,
fan bases at times pretty weak.
You're also leaving out the worst of what he said. And I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically said the people that criticize us are just poor, and they're sad that they're poor, and they go home, and even after they criticize us, they're still poor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They can't pay their own bills.
Can't pay their own bills. Yeah, that was that was the.
In most cases, the people that are negative and voicing their opinion are the same ones that can't pay their own bills. So basically, this is the age-old reference to Booger Picker in his mom's basement on Facebook talking crap about me and my Division I football team. I understand the sentiment, but you can't say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, just look at them and utter 3 simple words. Cry more, live. And move on. My story is about DJ Moore, Chicago Bears wide receiver. And apparently, I'm not going to say this was an indictment of Matt Eberflus. I will say it was the most pathetic ringing endorsement that I've ever heard in my life. He was on 670 The Score, and the hosts of the show asked him if Matt Eberflus had lost the locker room. What is the worst thing you could say right there? Has Matt Eberflus lost the locker room? Answer that in a competent way.
No, we still believe in our coach.
Well, and he did kind of that,
Yeah.
but he added some extra words. His answer was, I want to say no.
Oh.
The message yesterday was that we know we're 4-4 now. It's like being 0-0, but you just got to go out there, start stacking wins like we did. And that's the best thing you can do is win and let the chips fall after they do so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You did that wrong. Honestly, it would have been better if you just said, yep, he sucks, and I don't like him, because they might have fired him. I want to say no, I don't know who taught you how to do media things, but they did not do a formidable job of it.
Well, I mean, look, DJ, he was surprised by the question and didn't really know
Your
how
coach
to
is
answer
14 and 28, and you're surprised that they would ask you after another loss if he's lost the locker room. A week after you had a player that was jawing with fans and turned around and went, oh, wait a ball. Let me go do my job. Oh, by the way, a player who left practice when he found out he was being demoted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say they're going to ask you, has Matt Eberflus lost this locker room? Because it's really obvious that he has.
Yeah, pro tip, DJ, you never say, I want to say no. Either you're going to back your guy or you're not. If you're going to back him, then you got to back him all the way. If not, then that's something you need to not say.
I feel another...
You don't put that out there, right?
I feel another prediction coming on. If the Chicago Bears were to lose to the New England Patriots, I think Matt Eberflus gets fired on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that you have another game this year that would lead to that, but I do believe this one will. And look, the rest of their schedule's evil. They have every game in the division left. So they have to play all 3 of these teams 2 times.
Twice. And you got the Niners.
You will
and the
lose
Seahawks.
5 of those games.
Yeah, you got the Niners and the Seahawks as the other games.
This ain't a playoff team. It never was a playoff team.
No. We wanted to think it was. If Caleb Williams was as good as Jaden Daniels is, this would be a playoff team. And we'd be talking about this team like we talk about the Washington Commanders. However, he's not, and they're not.
Tyler Presley asked if he talked about the play that he walked off the field in the middle of it. It was broached, but basically what he said was that he felt a tingle in his groin, and so he was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with that is that he didn't actually miss a play. Have you seen that video?
No.
Caleb Williams is scrambling around, and DJ Moore literally he's running his route and then just goes sideline like, I'm done. I'm through running now. I'm go sit down.
Not trying to get up.
Fellas, 11 on 10. You got this. I'm going to go get some Gatorade. It's the red gun.
He was out of the play anyway. It didn't matter.
They got red over here. I'm going to have some. It's delicious.
Week 10 power rankings. We have given you the bottom 5 in the NFL. Starting at the bottom, Jacksonville, New England, New Orleans, Carolina Panthers, the Las Vegas Raiders, number 27.
The Tennessee Titans. Yeah. It's not going awesome.
No. What is the redeeming quality of this team?
Your defense is pretty good. I mean, in all honesty, if your defense wasn't good, this would be bad. But that is something to build on. I still don't like your offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like your weapons. I see what you did, but their offense feels like you tried to decorate a house by going to the flea market. Like, oh, that's cute. You bought a throw rug, and it has a blood stain on it. Did somebody get murdered on this rug? I think somebody got murdered on this rug. I don't think it should be in your living room.
Tennessee Titans, they're one of those teams going to be looking at one of those top quarterbacks in this next class. I have a feeling.
I have long said I think Cam Ward ends up with the Titans and Shedeur Sanders ends up with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't see a quarterback go for a long, long time. But we will because teams are desperate.
Yes. How about number 26?
Closing time, Caitlin Kankles is a 7. The Cleveland Browns!
Is this team any good?
No.
Why are they talented? They are talented. What is the point? What is the point of being talented if you're not going to win football games? And I think this falls directly on Kevin Stefanski at this point.
I do too, but I don't know that he's going to get fired. I'm not sure he's not going to get the platitude of this has just been a bad year. You didn't have Nick Chubb to start the year. The defense is not nearly as good as it was. I think Jim Schwartz is going to be the sacrificial lamb.
Mm-hmm.
And Stefanski gets to keep his job with a retooled staff. The problem is that you're going to lather up and do the exact same thing over again next year.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have Deshaun Watson with the same cast of characters, and it's just not good enough. You know, the defense, everybody's talking about how the defense has regressed so much. The offense is never on the field.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for look, I mean, maybe I'm sensitive to this because I've watched my team do this for the better part of the last 3 years. I don't care how good your defense is. If your offense can't do squat, that's going to be a problem. And they looked great against Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had Grumperfest 99 last week because Jameis Winston could not do anything well.
And as long as you're getting good Jameis, who can have 3 touchdowns and 300 yards in a game without turning the ball over 3 times, you're going to have a chance to win games with this defense.
Yeah, the problem with Jameis Winston is he likes to say he's a dog. Well, he is a dog, a puppy. Sometimes the puppy's real cute and runs over and has those little puppy teeth and gnaws on your finger and, you're so cute, I just love you. And then other times he goes Grumperfest 99 on that rug and you don't like the puppy.
Right.
Because that's what puppies do,
Mm-hmm.
is they're very volatile and you never know exactly what you're going to get. That's what he is. In college, it worked because at Florida State they didn't play anybody. So he could have bad games. They had so much talent, it didn't matter. Then he went to the Bucs. In the NFL, the talent discrepancy is not that great. So you throw 30 interceptions in a year, and guess what? You're 5-12. Half the time you got a legit starting quarterback. He's not an NFL quarterback. And I do want to clarify this because I've been asked about a reel we put out. When I say a guy's not an NFL quarterback, that means he's not a starting quarterback. I thought that was implied, but apparently I have to clarify that. There are 96 spots for quarterbacks in the NFL. 80 of them are completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between a mediocre starter, to me, the difference between Bo Nix and C.J. Beathard is not that drastic.
Right.
It ain't that much. It's a much bigger difference between Bo Nix and Pat Mahomes.
I get the excuses that are built in for Kevin Stefanski, but I just don't know how you survive.
I really don't. I don't understand why he gets such a benefit of the doubt. Because I still don't think Deshaun Watson's a bad quarterback. I think he's terrible in this system.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Cleveland ate the deal,
Mm-hmm.
and they just outright cut him.
Yep.
Would he be a starting quarterback in the NFL next year? I think he would.
Maybe. I mean, for New Orleans.
I think that's actually the very team that I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because they were interested in him originally. And I wouldn't be shocked if a team said, Stefanski just didn't use him right. Happened with Baker Mayfield. Oh, Baker goes out, and now Baker's a superstar. No, he's not.
I don't know that there's any. I mean, never mind. There is a franchise that's desperate enough, and it may be the New Orleans Saints that would be desperate enough to do that. I just don't think it's going to work. I feel like we've done this 3 years in a row now.
But nothing's changed.
And
you've
we
done
had
it with the same coach and the same quarterback, and you've tried to lather up and do the same thing and expect a different result, and that to me is stupid.
Right.
But could I see him going somewhere else and being moderately successful? Sure.
I just feel like you had advantages, right? They went out and got you Amari Cooper, right?
We should put a pin in this because this is a much longer conversation.
Yeah, sorry.
Just make a note of it, and we'll talk about it one day next week.
We will. We will definitely do that. I'll make a note right here. All right, let's go to Cleveland at 26. That goes number 25.
The New York Football Giants.
Who will, guys, how many people are excited to wake up on Sunday morning to watch that Germany game with the Giants and the Panthers?
I have to wash my hair that morning for 3 hours and 13 minutes. I should be done right about the time the coaches shake hands.
Yes. Although Panther fans, it might be an opportunity for you to win a game. However, you think the Giants are better than the Panthers.
I do. I also think the Giants have some reasons to be encouraged. No, you don't have a quarterback. I think you have found a running back.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrone Tracy, guy I said in the preseason.
Thank you for that tip in my dynasty, by the way.
Welcome. Malik Neighbors, dog. Theo Johnson seems to be cranking up. Wan'Dale Robinson's been good all year long.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the Giants now as you have some building block pieces. You're just going to find the right quarterback. And you're also going to have to find the right coach. I don't think Brian Daboll's that guy. I thought there was a possibility he might get another year. Then I've watched in the last handful of weeks and gone, nope, this is a full reset.
Mm-hmm.
This is everybody gets fired. We go hard in the paint to get a GM. Tell you a little rumor I've heard that Joe Douglas, if he were to get whacked by the Jets, he might not leave the stadium.
Ooh. Wouldn't be a bad pickup for the Giants. And then you have a little institution there that you can kind of lean back on, and maybe you solve this revolving door with not being able to find a coach or being able to have cohesive talent. And you haven't had anything to believe in since Tom Coughlin was in the building.
Correct. I find this job to be more attractive than I think others will. The only problem is that I got to be able to bring my own personnel guy with me.
Well, and
or you got to hire the personnel guy that can bring his own coach with. I don't really care which way you do it.
Right. Now I got to find me a quarterback.
For sure.
That's the number one goal is I got to find a quarterback. It's not Daniel Jones. It hasn't been Daniel Jones, and that's why we're having to reset the decks here. But
if you look at the team they played this past Sunday, the Washington Commanders added the quarterback. The quarterback fixed all the problems. I don't see any reason that the Giants couldn't do the same thing with the right quarterback.
Problem is, does that quarterback exist?
Exist, yes. Are they available? Probably not.
Probably not. At number 24.
The Miami Dolphins.
Okay, so last week I'd said some not so flattering things about Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins.
Yep,
the game with the Buffalo Bills was very entertaining.
Yes.
But I still don't think that team's any good.
I believe, and now correct me if I'm wrong, I said when you brought Tua Tagovailoa back, you do realize that doesn't fix your problems, right? It makes you competitive. It still doesn't make you good. Because, fantastic, we can now get the ball to Tyreek Hill. You still can't stop anybody because your defense is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And weird, Buffalo gets the ball back, game's tied, they go down, kick, field goal, ball game over because you cannot stop anybody.
Yeah.
I also can't figure out how any NFL coach makes Jalen Waddle completely irrelevant. I firmly believe Mike McDaniel will be coaching his last game for the Miami Dolphins within the next 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he survives this. There's too many things that I'm looking at going, Stephen Ross is notoriously impatient. And I see how you get there.
This is his fourth year?
Third, I think.
Third year, the Miami Dolphins.
I believe him and Saleh got hired the same year.
I believe you're right. 2-6 is no way that the Miami brass or the fan base thought that this season was going to go. Obviously, with the Tua injury, it does give you that little buffer. But I mean, much like Kevin Stefanski, I feel like you're out of excuses. You can't. You're not turning anything around here.
No. Look, it's a broken build.
Yeah, they gave you almost every advantage.
The problem is that this is the flip side of the Golden State Warriors coin. That's what I've compared Miami to for 2 years now. When Golden State put that roster together and all they did was shoot threes, it was a very specific build, and teams tried to replicate it. The problem is that if you don't have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, it doesn't work. They have all of the things that Mike McDaniel allegedly wanted to make this offense as good as it could be.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that this doesn't work in the NFL. Just being faster than everybody, that's cute, but you're going to come up against a team like the Buffalo Bills that's bigger, stronger, and meaner than you, better than you.
But you need to have that glue guy to bring it all together, right? You can have the Splash Brothers, and they can hit the threes and all of that, but
you got to have Draymond Green.
Or you got to have Draymond, or you got to have Andre Iguodala, or you got to have Kevin Durant to make it all work.
That.
No,
they have one speed.
They wanted Tua Tagovailoa to be that, and he's not that.
No, they have one speed. I'm faster than you. That's it. If I'm bigger than you, I can out-physical your fast, and that's what's happening now. You got a defense that's fast. The problem is that big teams are annihilating you. That's why you keep losing to good teams, and you've been doing it for 2 years.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. The special Power Rankings Wednesday continues after the top of the hour.
Family throughout Western North Carolina, Summit Dental is doing everything they can to continue providing exceptional safe dental care for our community. They're taking every safety precaution during this time. Their water system for patients is self-contained, and they're only using bottled distilled water for their patients' needs. Whether you're a current patient at Summit Dental or you're looking for a new dental provider, they're back to work and ready to support you and your family and any of your dental needs that you may have. Call today, 828-277-6868.
When you're ready to go back in the day,
y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Check out the all-new Throwbacks 101.1.
This is how we do it. Allow me to introduce myself.
Asheville's classic hip-hop and R&B. Come on.
After the devastation of Hurricane Helene, CareSource has been inspired by the strength and compassion of our North Carolina friends and neighbors. To support our recovery and replenish vital food banks, the CareSource Foundation has donated to Beloved Asheville and Manna Food Bank. We invite you to help too. To learn how, visit belovedasheville.com and mannafoodbank.org. We're all in this together, and together we will rebuild. A public service message from CareSource.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
Need batteries? Don't overpay at big box stores. Shop locally owned Rainy Battery for the lowest prices on all your battery needs. From watch to heavy equipment batteries, Rainy Battery has you covered. Boats, RVs, cars, trucks, golf carts, and so much more. Get brands you know and trust like AC Delco, Motorcraft for the lowest prices, plus custom battery cables made in-house. Go to rainybattery.com or stop in today for a quote. That's rainybattery.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A lot of inches of rain, but really not much developing here in terms of accumulating rainfall, less than 1/10 of an inch. So that barely wets the ground. Better chances as you go well south of us, like South Carolina south. This afternoon, a lot of clouds, maybe a passing shower or two. 72 degrees at best chance early because I think the sun's going to try to break out. Then the clouds are going to roll back in later tonight. Maybe some showers around as we drop to 60. Tomorrow, some showers in the morning, patchy fog. Then sunshine, 75. Friday, beautiful day, sunshine, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by GeneratorFranchise.com. Millions protect their homes from power outages with Generac home standby generators. Would you like to be part of this lucrative industry? Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer, has limited franchise opportunities in your area. Learn more at GeneratorFranchise.com.
If you're a business owner, driving sales is a priority. And the formula for marketing success? It's reach times response rate equals results. And no platform reaches the customers your business needs like radio. At iHeartMedia, we provide unmatched reach through our radio stations, podcasts, and digital streaming platforms. Maximize your results by driving response from our massive audience. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. Don't wait. Holiday shopping has already started. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
WWNC is Western North Carolina's news and information station.
On your radio and on your phone with the free iHeartRadio app.
You'll have the smartest smartphone in town.
News Radio 570 WWNC.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at NissanUSA.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Grand. That's grand. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is live in the Ingalls studio on a...
Power Rankings Wednesday.
God,
you caught me at the worst possible time.
I did. I looked up and went, I shouldn't have thrown that over to him at that moment. It is a Power Rankings Wednesday here after the NFL trade deadline. Did the trades make anybody jump up in the rankings? We haven't gotten to one yet, obviously, because we've been focused on all of the losers of the league so far. Speaking of losers, how's everybody feeling today? Feeling good? You okay?
The air smells a little more affordable today. I'm not going to lie.
It's been waiting to get that one.
I love that line. I saw it. I saw it on social media and I went, stealing that one. That's coming down here. Hey, look, all right, can I be honest about something?
Yeah.
Just because I just opened my Twitter.
Please.
And I have to, my name's on the door, so I can say whatever I want to right here. If you can't support somebody because you don't agree with them politically, enjoy your vacuum. If you can't understand that we're making jokes right now because I think we just went through a political season with two horribly flawed candidates, and we're making jokes, and I got news for you, we would have made them the other way too. We wouldn't have been as happy today, but we would have been making jokes just the same. So if you can't support somebody because you don't agree with them, enjoy your vacuum. I don't have time for you. I really don't.
Yeah.
I have never one time looked at somebody whose content or whatever that I enjoyed and gave even a rat's rear who they voted for.
No.
Don't know, don't care.
No. Look, I encourage everybody. I'm a big endorser of the snooze button.
Oh,
the
God,
snooze
that's
button
beautiful.
is your friend.
Oh, it's a beautiful button.
If you see it and it ticks you off and you think about getting into it with somebody on social media, just snooze them. Just be done with it. It's not worth having the fight over. It's not worth getting your blood pressure up over.
And do you know why we make jokes? Because that's exactly what we're doing off air.
Mm-hmm.
We come on this show for 3 hours a day and show you exactly who we are for 21 hours a day that we don't have a camera on us. And if you don't like it, you're totally fine to not like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally your prerogative. It's a free world. But if you think I'm going to change who I am because you don't like it, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Jeremy's little rant for the day.
Just a little one. Speaking of sorely disappointed. Power rankings rolling on.
He has been desperately wanting to do that since about 10 o'clock this morning.
Just didn't even have the gumption to face the music. Wow. Man. All right, number 23 on the Week 10 NFL Power Rankings, Jeremy Green.
Oh, I have to do a thing.
Number 23.
Sorry, my blood pressure got up. The Indianapolis Colts.
They stink on ice.
Bradley Presley, let me find his comment.
Mm-hmm.
He said he can't wait to talk about to hear about the Colts. Tell me again how Flacco gives us a better chance to win.
Yes, please.
Meanwhile, doing his best Deshaun Watson impression. He does give you a better chance to win. Not because he's great, but because Anthony Richardson's actually that awful. He is your best chance to win. It didn't work against Minnesota,
which I feel like is a sad statement. I mean, look, I have been, the Minnesota Vikings. They're good. They're doing their thing. They can score points. The defense is making plays. I just didn't feel like Joe Falco looked like that this past week because the Minnesota defense was that good. I thought he was atrocious, especially early on in the game. It looked like he couldn't throw the ball more than 8 feet at times. And is that because his team's bad? Is that because the defense is good? Or is that just because Joe Flacco, just like everybody, has a shelf life? And I believe he's hit his. Does that mean he can't come out and beat a bad team? No. The Vikings are not that. The Buffalo Bills are not that. I still don't think the Jets are that. Gish.
One of them's going to make the playoffs,
and then the Lions. I mean, those are your next 4 games. So, as an Indianapolis Colts fan, I don't see how you can have much hope for where this goes, other than maybe we just keep doing what we're doing. Hope for a good draft pick.
One of 4 horribly flawed teams is making the playoffs in the AFC. If you're Indianapolis, you want to do everything in your power to make that you. Because it's beneficial for an older team to make the playoffs. This is not a great young team. It's not like they're going to get better year over year. I think you have a pretty good evaluator of talent that can add pieces to this roster. You're kind of stuck where you are because you had a top 5 pick and you wasted it on Anthony Richardson. We told you that the night you did it.
Yes.
So you do have to kind of look at Joe Flacco and go, well, I mean, he did win a Super Bowl. He has started over 200 games in this league, and he does give us a better chance to win right now. Problem is that you're going to beat the Vikings, and I don't care who you have playing quarterback. You're not going to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to beat the higher end of the teams in the NFL. The hope is that you can beat the Jets, and you can beat the Broncos, and you can beat teams like that. That will get you to the playoffs.
You end the season Broncos, Titans, Giants, Jaguars.
They're the only team in the playoff race that gets a shot at every single team that they have to beat to get into the playoffs.
Yep.
The only one. So if you're that 7th team, you're going to prove it. And if you're not, you're going to prove that too.
Mm-hmm. Number 22.
One job. The Dallas Cowboys. Usually it's on both screens, and now I'm having to click off things.
How about them Cowboys? They're not good at all.
No, and with no Dak Prescott, I have a funny feeling you're going to fall down this list precipitously.
Mm-hmm. With Cooper Rush at quarterback. And now Jonathan Mingo in town. You don't have a lot to look forward to. I mean, at this point, I'm not even rooting for a draft pick.
Well, if you're Dallas, you're in purgatory. You're the definition of purgatory because you're pot committed to Dak Prescott, you're pot committed on CeeDee Lamb, you're pot committed on Micah Parsons. You've got 3 players there that account for over a third of your cap space once you get the deal done with Micah. I don't think you draft well enough to have a roster like that. I have kind of the same aversion to the Cincinnati Bengals because they're in the same boat. They have Burrow, Chase, and Trey Hendrickson. Everything else you have to draft.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that well. It's hard to build a roster that way, especially when you're in a conference with Brad Holmes, who he just don't miss, ever.
Detroit has been unbelievable adding talent.
I did say on in an interview I did, my days have run so far together, I said, yeah, just go find another Brad Holmes, and the host of the show said, oh, yeah, that's not hard to do. He's only the best talent evaluator in the league. Well, there's a second. Somebody's got to be 2 or 4.
Uh-huh.
You know what they're not? Jerry Jones. But the problem is that the high-end guys don't want to deal with Jerry.
No.
That's the part of this that nobody ever wants to talk about. Yeah, he's controlling, and he's out of his mind, and he's meddling and involved. You also have to realize that about the top 30% of the candidate poll has no desire to work for him. You're put under an absolute microscope, and you know for a fact he's going to be involved in every decision that you make, and then you're going to get blamed for it. I'm good. Mike McCarthy right now, he didn't do this. He's making chicken salad out of chicken excrement, but guess who's going to get fired? Big Mike.
Yep. Which I don't think he's innocent in all of this.
I didn't say he was innocent. He ain't the one that went, we're going to go Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, and Rico Dowdle as our skill position guys, and we're going to be hunky-dunky.
I'd rage quit.
This
is where you quit the dynasty and you start a new one.
All right. I'm glad you said that way. If you started a Madden dynasty and you were handed a team with those 3 weapons, how many games do you play before you go, screw this?
Oh, no, you empty the team and sim the season.
Bingo.
Yeah. I'm selling it off at the trade deadline and then just simming the rest of the season. End up with the number 1 pick and we'll just move on from there. But the Dallas Cowboys are, they're not going to be the worst team in the league, I don't think. Even with Cooper Rush, I think you still have the ability to win a game. Maybe 2 if Dak's out a little longer. Staring at those Giants-Panthers games. But you're kind of stuck in Buccaneer territory, where you're going to end up picking somewhere between, I'll say, 8 and 11. And that's where you live.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you're going to live. Because you're not good enough to win a bunch of games, but you're good enough to win just enough games. That 5-6 win area that's going to drop you right in that little nebulous spot. And you better hit on those draft picks, or else you're staring at just years of being out in the void.
The problem with the Cowboys is this is a very difficult team to build, and you have Jerry Jones building it, and I have no faith that he's going to.
All right, at number 21,
the Denver Broncos. Yet you're still not good, and you remember that thing I said about when you play a good team, it's going to show how not good you are.
41-10.
And it wasn't even that close.
Hate to tell you I told you so. But I kept looking at that game last week going, there's something wrong here because Baltimore is going to beat the brakes off this team. And
I
guess
thought
what?
they could at least backdoor cover. Because, it's rare you get beat by 31 points in the NFL.
Sure.
There's actually that big of a discrepancy. Denver's worse than I thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
You can beat the dregs, and that's what you've done. The problem is that's not going to get you to the playoffs, and that's not really sustainable. Just beating up on bad teams leads to you being 7-10, 8-9, 9-8. And that's where I think this team is for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm. And this weekend, they go to Arrowhead to play the Kansas City Chiefs, which I said on Monday, that probably means they're going to win that game, just because it makes absolutely no sense for them to do so. Number 20.
The Seattle Seahawks. Hey, you remember that thing I said about Seattle of, I don't know where this hubris is coming from, that you think you're this good, you're not. And you just played a game that is the definition of what I tried to tell you. Geno Smith was not your problem. He did everything in his power to win this game.
He was
good. He was good.
Especially down the stretch. He made a couple of throws late in that game that made me think, oh, okay, well, maybe I should take back some of the things I've said about Geno.
Seattle, to me, right now, feels like the Pittsburgh Steelers have felt for the better part of the last 5 years. You're good enough to beat bad teams. You're not good enough to beat good teams. You'll sneak a win every now and then, and you'll lose a game that doesn't make any sense every now and then. But it's still going to lead to you being either the first team, the last team in the playoffs, or one of the first teams out. And to me, you're just completely irrelevant.
Yep.
And until you move on from Geno Smith, you're going to continue to be. Because you're not going to get high-level talent from what's playing in Seattle. It rains all the time in Seattle. So, yeah, free agents look at that and go, or I could go where the pretty girls are on the beach in L.A., and that looks like a lot more fun with Sean McVay. It's hard to get guys to Seattle. It's even harder to get guys to Seattle when they're hitching their little red wagon to Geno Smith.
DK Metcalf missed the game. Tyler Lockett making plays. Geno Smith was making plays.
Jackson Smith-Njigba was phenomenal.
He was.
I'm so angry I didn't play him on DraftKings. He was in my lineup, and I went, this is too obvious. It's too obvious.
He was cheap, too.
He was.
I had him on the only roster that I cashed on this weekend.
He was.
Yep. Seattle Seahawks fall to 4-5. They are in last place in the NFC West. When we come back in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, another NFC West team shows up in the standings.
Your ideal vacation? The beach? The mountains? The big city? We've got a better idea. An inflation vacation. Your chance to beat high prices with $1,000.
A $1,000 inflation vacation from ESPN Asheville.
Explore a career as a correctional officer. NC Department of Adult Correction is hiring with a $10,000 sign-on bonus. Becoming a correctional officer can be a rewarding first step along a criminal justice career. Visit dac.nc.gov/co-jobs.
Nothing says welcome home like insanely clean carpets from Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. For a limited time, get 3 rooms cleaned for just $129. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Storm Pro Solution is here to help you in your time of need, providing top roofing and water damage restoration services, tree removals, and storm damage assessments. Call Storm Pro Solution at 828-318-7096.
To all you tool people out there, has Harbor Freight got a deal for you? Big savings every single day this November. Because we know that right now, when the price of everything only seems to go up, you need a place where prices stay low. So shop in-store or online for quality tools you can trust at prices you'll love every day. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Going to big box retailers for batteries? Flag on the play. Locally owned Rainy Battery has the lowest prices on all your battery needs. Don't fumble when you can find everything from watch batteries to batteries for cars, RVs, trucks, golf carts, and more at Rainy Battery. Get brands you know and trust like AC Delco, Motorcraft for the lowest prices, plus custom battery cables made in-house. Go to rainybattery.com or stop in today for a quote. That's rainybattery.com.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, on a Power Rankings Tuesday. Oh, excuse me, a Power Rankings Wednesday.
Power Rankings Wednesday.
As we roll through the best and the worst teams in the NFL, working our way through the worst teams as we speak. We left off with the Seattle Seahawks at number 20. And there's an NFC West rival right here with them at 19.
The Los Angeles Rams. Hey, I just saw you play an overtime game. Heads up. You should be pretty close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought the Rams were a little better than you, and then you just confirmed it. Because that's not even a fully healthy team, and they can still beat you.
No, the big difference there for me is the quarterback.
For sure.
I have Matthew Stafford. You have Geno Smith. If we're equally talented elsewhere, then I get the nod over you, and that's what this game came down to. You never leave Matthew Stafford time on the clock. He always seems to come up with a play.
I wish the Rams were a year further down the line because I think their time, the time frame on this team is going to kind of miss itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Matthew Stafford starts to regress, and he's already started to regress, it's just he started very, very good. That's when the defense chimes up, and I don't think this team's ever going to be complete.
Yeah.
And what you do at quarterback after this, I have absolutely no idea.
No, you'll have to scrap it. You'll have to move on.
It's not Stetson Bennett the fourth, though. I can tell you that much.
No, you don't. You don't have that guy. But currently, you have enough players to make some noise, and you're going to make a lot of teams uncomfortable, and I'm not so sure that they're not going to win this division. If they can get healthy and they can get hot down the stretch, I feel like this division is wide open.
Define wide open.
Well, I already said there's a possibility that things go south for the 49ers. You already have the Seahawks.
I don't. I guess that's why I don't think it's wide open. I think it's the Arizona Cardinals.
I just don't know that they're that good.
It's hard to trust them, and I get that. But they are the team right now that looks the most complete to me.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams are going to have problems defensively against everybody they play. Yeah, you're just going to. You've got a very young team, and you've got guys playing legit snaps that are not legit NFL football players.
Mm-hmm.
So a team that can shoot out with you is going to have an advantage. I don't buy Seattle at all, and I don't really buy San Francisco at all, and I don't think Christian McCaffrey coming back really changes much.
Yep. And the Arizona Cardinals already have wins over the Rams and the 49ers so far this season. And they got Jets and Seahawks twice. Seahawks twice over the next 4 games. So you got some winnable games left on that schedule. Maybe Arizona is the team that steps up. They still have the Panthers and the Patriots on that schedule as well. It's going to be a much closer race than I think many of us expected that the NFC West was going to be. And the Cardinals were not part of that calculation. Another surprise team, along with the Washington Commanders, who we haven't even gotten to yet and won't for quite a while. At number 16?
16. 18.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, we were talking about one team that's 17. Anyway, 18. Sorry.
The Chicago Bears.
Not the DJ Moore story that you told in the first hour has me thinking There's something rotten in the state of Chicago.
Well, the team is – this is the problem of bringing in veteran guys. I think the same thing happened with the New York Jets. You bring in veteran guys that have been in winning locker rooms previously, and then they look around and go, you're not a winning coach. I don't buy you. I don't buy into you. I don't buy the message that you're selling. And this is what happens. You have guys that have been successful in other places. They come here, they look at Caleb Williams and go, nope. You're fine. You're talented. You're not a leader of men. And it's very obvious. If you watch how they interact with him, it is very obvious that a lot of these guys do not buy into Caleb Williams. And I can't tell you exactly why that is. I know why I think it is. And then you watch the interactions with Eberflus. It was fun in training camp. He's guy gets his haircut every day. He's a fun-time guy. Then you get into the actual battles. And then you get into the actual attrition of a season, and you're looking at him going, you're the guy that's supposed to put us in a position to succeed, and I don't think you can do it. Because I don't think you're that guy. Mm-hmm. And they turn on you.
Is there any one thing that you can point to? Is there an example? Like Todd Bowles, I say he's a horrible coach.
I
have a whole bunch of examples that I could point to. What is yours with Matt Eberflus?
The Tyreke Stevenson thing. Do you think any player that's ever played for Andy Reid one time ever would be sitting at the goal line jawing with fans on a Hail Mary play?
No.
No, because Andy Reid would be running his fat keister down that sideline with his Waffle House menu in his hand to call a timeout, and you're headed to the pit of misery. Mm-hmm. And I don't care who you are. It's just disrespectful. That's just one of those things you look at and go, you have absolutely no respect for the 52 other guys in this locker room. You have, for sure, no respect for your coaching staff. You are a me-first player, and I think they got a lot of those. Mm-hmm. And you get a lot of me-first players that are playing for a coach like this, and it is so easy to go sideways, and I think it's gonna. I think it already has.
Yeah.
Because you look at 6 games in the division, I don't honestly see you winning more than one of them. Because the Lions are going to hurt your feelings twice. The Packers are going to hurt your feelings twice. I think you probably still won in Chicago from Minnesota. I can't even tell you why I think that, mainly because you have a decent defense.
Okay.
And Darnold has struggled with some of the elements of what you do. Other than that, you're just an also-ran franchise. This is who you are. I've seen you do this 10 separate times. You build a roster, everybody falls for it, everybody's hunky-dunky with it. And let me ask you a question. They host the New England Patriots this week. Mm-hmm. It's in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Set that line.
Chicago -1.5.
That's way too low. You're at home. That means they would be a dog to New England in New England, and that's insane.
Okay, to the 3.5?
6.
6?
Yeah, that's baiting you. Mm-hmm. Because that feels really easy. That Chicago's got a good defense. Drake May's going to turn it over. It's in Chicago. And I'll bet you, without even looking, I will bet you a lot of the money's on Chicago. And I'll bet you that line doesn't move because they're not scared. Because that feels like a field goal game to me.
Oh, and so the thought is everybody would load up on Chicago.
Yeah, they'll load up on Chicago because I'm not even giving up full touchdown to a rookie and I've got a good defense. The problem is they have a good defense too, and you have an error-prone quarterback.
Yep.
You view him differently, but you shouldn't. So people load up on Chicago -6, and they win by 3. Mm-hmm. And Vegas prints money in that game.
Number 18. Or 17, excuse me.
You are doing a really bad. I'm glad that I numbered my list.
I've had 2 hours of sleep in the last couple of days, so just bear with me.
And I've had 74 beers, and I've yelled till my ears popped. We all have issues, bruh. The Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
Now, I said all the nice things about Arizona. Mm-hmm. You have a huge talent deficiency in certain places. I don't know that you can overcome that. I think you're very well coached. I think you have a good, not great quarterback. And you have the pieces to win, and you're super bought in. That doesn't mean that I think you're better than you are. It means you're super bought in. And if you play a team like the Bears, who are exponentially more talented than you, mm-hmm. I'm not sure I could name you a position group outside of quarterback where the Cardinals are better than the Bears. It was never close. You're bought in. You buy everything that Jonathan Gannon is selling. They buy nothing that Matt Eberflus is selling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what can change those fortunes? Lose 2 games for you, fire Matt Eberflus over there. Watch what happens. I don't care if Chicago put Yosemite Sam in as their head coach. You would get buy-in because you're not that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're not that guy. It's a new voice. And with Arizona, if you lose to the Jets this week, don't be shocked if that confidence that you're playing with dwindles a little bit. It's easy to do with young, fickle teams.
Mm-hmm.
And look how many guys under 26 years old are playing for the Cardinals right now, because it is a ton.
They are very tough to trust. They do have good pieces. Feels like asking a lot from this team to win a division knowing that you have more experienced teams around you. Right? Comes down to the last couple of games of the season, and it's a tight race between San Francisco, Arizona, and the LA Rams. You're at a deficit at every position, right?
Sure.
I mean, you don't have the coach, you don't have the quarterback, I think you're behind. You're behind in every important metric. So it's tough to think that they will win this division, but you're ahead of schedule. And that's what I like to see. When Jonathan Gannon got this job, we went, well, it's going to take some time. Well, it's been 2 years. Well, I guess a year and a half. And I feel like you're pretty well above where everybody expected you to be. 5-4, sitting first in the division, and you do have a few more winnable games on that schedule, and you can sneak up and bite anybody. At number 16 on the rankings, top half of the league, a team that started out the year way up there, and they just continue to slip spot by spot by spot on down the line. Is this as far as they will fall? Their running back might have something to say about that. We'll talk about number 16 up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A lot of inches of rain, but really not much developing here in terms of accumulating rainfall, less than 1/10 of an inch. So that barely wets the ground. Better chances as you go well south of us, like South Carolina south. This afternoon, a lot of clouds, maybe shower or two. 72 degrees at best chance early because I think the sun's going to try to break out. Then the clouds are going to roll back in later tonight. Maybe some showers around as we drop to 60. Tomorrow, some showers in the morning, patchy fog. Then sunshine, 75. Friday, beautiful day, sunshine 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
The Salvation Army of Asheville needs your help to spread love beyond Christmas. Volunteer a few hours to ring bells and raise funds for those that need them now more than ever. It's easy. Sign up at registertoring.com. Let's make a difference this holiday season that will support our community year-round.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at NissanUSA.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
This is where it starts. Where your story begins. This is the trail you blaze yourself. And step by step, you get stronger, faster, better. This is where it starts. How will you finish? Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828 774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at ParksFordHendersonville.com. That's ParksFordHendersonville.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville. We're back inside the Ingles studio. This is the Sportsocracy, and I know this is going to bring a tear to everybody's eye because when you
my story will too.
when you find out that was sarcasm on my part.
This was mine.
Okay,
it's certainly mine is certainly a tearjerker. You're going to understand that in a minute, and you're going to laugh so hard.
I've been on a cruise ship before. I have been on a fishing boat before. I have never, though, been on a yacht.
I have.
Jeremy, you told me you've been on a yacht.
I have. Awesome.
Was it just a regular yatchet, or was it a super yatchet?
Well, the girl who owned it was a little yatchet, but it was just it was a smaller yacht that was very comfortable and just a whole mess of fun. Now, I will say this: I have absolutely no idea how anybody drives that thing. Like how you pilot that ship, I don't understand because you turn it and things happen that don't make any sense, and I'm too stupid for all that.
Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions.
I actually think that boat was called the Yatchet. The Molly Yatchet.
Super yacht. Obviously, these are these are big like the Mark Zuckerberg yachts. They have like the helicopter pad on it and all this kind of stuff. So there's a story. Are you familiar with the name Andy Warhol?
Yes, I know. He's an artist, right?
Yes, he was an artist. And remember, he did all of the consumerism art, right? He did the famous painting of the Campbell's soup can, right?
I have seen that.
Right. So he did a lot of that, like mimicking 1950s to 1970s.
The only thing I remember
advertising art.
The only thing I remember and or know about Andy Warhol is he looked as though if he stepped out on a sunny day, he might implode.
Yes, he was definitely a vampire.
Oh yeah, because he was at least 8 shades lighter than you, and and notebook paper is only 3.
Right. So Andy Warhol did all of these big, consumerism pieces, and a lot of his pieces are very, very valuable. So on this super yacht lived one of Andy Warhol's most rarest creations, which was a wooden box that was painted up like an old Brillo pad box. Those little scrubby pads that you use to get the crusty stuff off your dishes. He recreated one of these, and this was the super rare one that the other ones, they go for, tens of thousands of dollars. This one was the only one of its kind and was a $3 million sculpture. The cleaning crew on the super yacht didn't know it, and they threw it in the trash can.
Oh.
They just went, Brillo pad box. Even though it's made out of wood, you would think that at some point it would register like this is not just a box that had some Brillo pads in it from 1950 something.
That's why I always put the little sign on my door that says, "Please leave me alone." And don't knock on the door and say housekeeping at 9 in the morning.
The story says that this piece, this $3 million Brillo box, actually had an HBO documentary made about it at one point. I don't know it. I haven't seen it. Jeremy, I'm sure you'll watch it at some point.
Probably.
You love all of those.
I love documentaries.
All of those documentaries. $3 million loss. Again, the fact that the boat is probably worth, I don't know, $100 million doesn't really make me feel sad for the guy who lost, or gal who lost $3 million in this art piece. I'm billing you for that, just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Your company's paying for that.
Your insurance premiums are about to go up. My story comes from North Korea. I did not know this, but did you know that North Korea has troops that are involved in the Russia-Ukraine war?
I did not.
I didn't know that. Well, they are stationed in Russia trying to help the Russian effort.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea where I'm headed with this?
I do not.
North Korea is known to be, we'll say, a little restrictive in what they allow their people to consume.
Yes.
Well, in Russia, they have access to something that they've never had access to before.
Okay, now I know where this is going.
You know exactly.
I know exactly where this is going.
Well, and one of the things that they have access to is the interwebs. What would a grown man that's never had access to the internet and now has unfettered access to the internet, what would they probably sample the wares of? Yeah! According to the... trying to find the title.
They're not looking at their hair, I'll tell you that.
Their chief of foreign affairs commentator for the Financial Times, Gideon Rackman. I'm going to read the tweet verbatim.
Excuse me?
Gideon Rackman. Rackman. A usually reliable source tells me that the North Korean soldiers who have deployed to Russia have never had unfettered access to the internet before. As a result, and the word choice here is chef's kiss, they are gorging on pornography. Yeah! Means they saw the boobies on the cell phone for the first time and went, I gotta have more! Give me more! All of them! I want to see them all!
Mm-hmm.
I love the way that was said. Gorging on pornography. I don't think I've done that since I was 14. America Online. CD came in the mail. Not a lot got accomplished that week. Let's just say my schoolwork suffered just a tad.
Just a little bit. Very good.
North Korea will not confirm this, and they also say that they are not worried about it one way or the other. They have things to accomplish, and that is very low on their priority list.
Huh. You can say whatever you want to. Just you can't hold these guys back.
You know what North Korea is about to find out? Our soldiers are weird. You see any person's internet search history, and I guarantee you ain't going drinking with that guy anytime soon.
No, they'll handle that in a different way over there in North Korea.
All right, top 5 words searched here. I don't know how they work out together. But you're weird. I'm going home.
All right, week 10 power rankings in the NFL. We are to the midpoint of the league. Just your average Joes. Number 16.
One job. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, it's that other team from Pennsylvania.
Hold on. If I'm going to do it to you, I might as well do it to myself. You're
holding it up backwards, which is even
No. I'm
better.
holding it up to myself. Usually I'm showing it to you.
Oh, I got you.
I mean, yes, you are on the other side of the camera, so it looks like I'm showing it to the camera. This time I'm showing it to myself. You had one job, stupid.
The Philadelphia Eagles coming in at number 16. I mean, this team could be so good.
I want to do 3 teams at once here.
I feel like this team could be so good.
Yep, because I feel the exact same way about 16 that I feel about 15 that I feel about 14.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Number 15.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Number 14.
The New York Jets. Hey, you have stupid amounts of talent.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Why do you keep not putting it together? I cannot for the life of me figure that out.
All right, well, we know Philadelphia's reason is Nick Sirianni.
And I'm not sure that Cincinnati's isn't Zach Taylor, and I'm not sure that the Jets, I think, goes higher than that.
Who do you blame in the Jets? Is it Joe?
Woody Johnson. Yeah, you want to know one reason I was real happy about last night? It means Woody Johnson's about to disappear for 4 years.
He's getting himself another job.
Yeah, because he had another job the last time we did this. And weird, the whole roster got rebuilt.
What was it?
Then he came back and flusher number 2.
He was what, the ambassador to the UK? Yeah.
And there's a rumor that he's going to be a little higher in this administration than he was before.
How do you get higher than the UK?
Wouldn't be an ambassador.
Oh.
He'd have an actual
role. Interesting.
Look, I've met Mr. Johnson. I think he's a very nice guy. I don't think he's a very good owner. And there are a lot. I got news for you. Of the 32 owners in the NFL, I could probably say that about 22 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at all 3 of these teams and go, you're dysfunctional somewhere. If it's not the coaching staff, it's the front office. If it's not the front office, it's the ownership group. It doesn't really have anything to do with the players. Because if you go 1-53, those are 3 of the 6 best rosters in the league.
Yes.
In terms of talent.
Sure.
Some of that talent hasn't worked out for Cincinnati. Some of that talent hasn't worked out for Philadelphia. Some of that talent hasn't worked out for the Jets. I don't think it's because it's not talent.
No, you're just not led well.
That's kind of where I'm at.
You don't have a rah-rah guy in the building.
The problem is, how do you trust any of these 3 teams?
You can't.
Because what's funny is they're all 3 built so differently. But I look at them exactly the same. When I put these rankings together, that was the first thought I had was, I'm going to put these 3, bing, bang, boom, because they're the same team.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Philadelphia is super explosive on offense.
Philadelphia has all the weapons you could ever want on offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
Your defense is bad at times.
Yes.
It's getting better.
It's still the
but
thing
it
that
helps
lets you
that
down.
you're playing a mercenary school or a missionary school. Not a mercenary. Mercenary would not go well.
No, mercenary school would be rough.
They are the ones gorging themselves on pornography. A cooking school.
Yeah.
You're beating up on the dregs of the league. I have no faith.
And getting super lucky.
If they, for sure, if they played the Detroit Lions right now, what would you set that spread at?
Oh, what would Vegas set it at, or would I personally?
No, I didn't ask.
At?
I know what Vegas would set it at. I have an algorithm for that.
I would be 13.5 easy.
It's not that much for me, but I would go 9.5 solidly,
and
I would take Detroit.
I mean, smoked like a deli meat.
And that's where I get to with Philadelphia. I mean, I get it. Saquon right now, Offensive Player of the Year is a 2-horse battle between Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
It's unfortunate that we can't just cut the trophy in half and give each one of you half of it. But we can't.
No, it'll come down to whose team's better, probably.
Probably. And unfortunately for Saquon, I think that's going to fall to Derrick Henry's side.
Mm-hmm. I mean, unless he limps this team to a division championship almost single-handedly, and then maybe he gets the nod.
I don't know, because I think for you to do that, for you to beat Washington, Jalen Hurts has to come to the forefront, because I don't think you can beat good teams that way. I don't think you can look at a team piloted by Jaden Daniels and say, we're going to beat you 4 yards in a cloud of dust with our running back. I just don't think it's going to work that way.
Right.
And then you start getting into Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and it starts taking the luster away from him. Yeah. In Baltimore, you got 2. It's Lamar and Derrick Henry, and we don't give this Offensive Player of the Year award to quarterbacks.
Yeah. Cincinnati's not impressing right now, despite the fact that Joe Burrow's playing really well. That defense is not good.
T. Higgins must be the biggest hypochondriac on this planet, because he gets a hangnail and goes on IR.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so he's like the NFL version of Anthony Davis.
I cut it. That's a, that reminds me, we have a super chat.
Oh.
It just totally slipped my mind.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
It was from Red Sea, and I was waiting for an opportunity for you to say something weird again, and then you didn't do it.
No.
He said, we need Hurricane Tank back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to – because this is not polyester tank. Oh, my God. I had the best line. I'm going to have to put that in the chat.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's happening. I don't know what to call this version of tank.
What version?
In Touch with Your Feelings tank.
Oh.
Hallmark movie tank.
Yeah. Okay.
I love her hair.
Rom-com tank.
DK Metcalf would look so good in blue.
I didn't say it like that. Stop.
You didn't say it far away from that either. That wasn't as much of a dramatization as you wanted it to be. I was staring right at you.
Yeah. Okay. And then New York. You got the defense, or did. Actually, I don't know. You talk about your team. Where are you at right now? Are you feeling good about the progress that you've seen in the offense? Is the defense getting any better?
The offense is getting better with Todd Downing. The defense was never a problem. The defense second in the NFL. What more do you want? They're giving up and I can't remember I'll have to look up the exact number. The defense is not a problem. And it's not the 86 Bears, which everybody seems to want it to be. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, right now the New York Jets are giving up 290 yards a game. That's fourth in the NFL. And that was after one rather bad game. You take away that one outlier, and it's closer to I think it's 265.
Really?
This is one of the best defenses in the league. Offensively, you have way too many empty 3-and-outs that put the defense back on the field. I would love to know a stat of what is the average number of plays the offense ran on the directly preceding drive to the Jets defense giving up points. Okay. But I'll bet you the average is 5.5 or less. Because they do that a lot.
So give up a big drive, then immediately turn around 3-and-out, and then the defense has got to come back out there for another drive? Is that what you're saying?
That they gave a big drive. It's they get the ball, they go 3-and-out in 3 passing plays or one god-awful run right up the middle, and you're handing the ball back in 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then the defense is back on the field, and you're not as deep as you want to be. Hassan Reddick has helped. Having Hassan Reddick on the opposite side of Will McDonald has helped. I've never been happier to be wrong than I was about, man, I wish you had taken Broderick Jones. Oh, no, I don't, because he is not great at football. Will McDonald, on the other hand, he is. Mm-hmm. I just don't know that you're going to be able to beat good teams. I know you just beat Houston, but even that felt kind of fluky. But I did see heart out of the Jets that I haven't seen, so that is encouraging, but I'm still very pessimistic.
Mm-hmm. Jets coming in at number 14. So Jets, Bengals, Eagles, 14, 15, and 16. Number 13.
Fire them cannons, by golly, put more powder in them things.
I hate it. I this is too high. This is I can't do it. I'm still pissed. I'm still pissed about the game on Monday. But I mean, I just keep thinking if there was any other coach, if you had another coach not named Todd Bowles or Dennis Allen, how much better this team could be. Because I can point to 3 games and that have happened in this season and go, we could have won those games if the coaching had been a little bit better. And by a little bit better, I mean half competent when the game came down to the end.
Well,
still don't think this is a contender team.
It's not.
I'm just...
Your
give me some wins.
Look, right now you're trotting out a roster that has Trey Palmer and Jalen McMillan as your weapons, with Bucky Irving and Rashad White coming out of the backfield, quarterbacked by Baker Mayfield with a halfest offensive line. You have one competent pass rusher who's not even really good. Mm-hmm. Linebacking core is fine, and your secondary is awful. That's not a good team. That's a team that, you play gritty. He's a gamer.
Yep.
I don't know what that gets you. Now, what you said about another coach, here's the unfortunate part. Your roster's going to age like milk left in the sun, so you're going to get a new coach, and your roster's going to regress. And then you're basically back in the exact same boat, no matter how good your coach is, mm-hmm. because you're going to lose a Mike Evans or a Chris Godwin or whatever the case may be, whoever it is.
Godwin. I think
Godwin's as good as gone.
I think Godwin's a foregone conclusion.
Chris Godwin is as good as gone. That is really hard to say. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure Mike Evans isn't too. Because I think at some point Mike's going to do that. How long am I planning on doing this?
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to put my ability to ever win a Super Bowl into Johnny Manziel Jr. here? Because Johnny couldn't win me a national title, and Baker ain't winning me a Super Bowl.
Right.
He feels like that guy that 2 years from now is doing what DeAndre Hopkins is doing in Kansas City. I wind up with an elite quarterback, and I'm chasing a ring.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look around and just go, you don't draft well enough to.
But does he have to do that because he's already got one? I already got a ring with Tom. I mean, there was a lot of talk that he was going to, we had foregone conclusion Mike Evans ain't coming back to Tampa Bay. He's going to Kansas City. He's going to win a Super Bowl. And then they had that whole thing with him and his wife got involved and said, no, we're staying in town. And he was like, okay, I guess we can.
And it's possible.
Yeah.
I would say it's more likely that he just retires than that he keeps banging his head against the wall with Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where my problem falls in with Tampa Bay, is you look at the best draft picks they've had over the last 10 years. Man, a lot of them were 8 years ago or 10 years ago.
Yep.
Levante David's case, 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You look around and go, yeah, there's a Chris Godwin here and there, but there's not a lot of that. And I don't buy into you.
Yep.
I think having Todd Bowles as your death nail, your roster's not good enough that any coach wouldn't. If you had a great coach, I don't think you get above 9 or 10.
10 might be good enough to make the playoffs, though. And
it would be, except for the fact there's still a team in your division that we're not going to hear from for a second.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats, too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states. Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is a weekly test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Life is complicated. Your health insurance shouldn't be. That's why CareSource offers specialized marketplace health plans built specifically for your health challenges. Now our benefits are better than ever before. We even have plans for our members with chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease. You'll get your own care manager too. Affordable health coverage, strong network, one-on-one support. CareSource Marketplace Health Plans. We got you. Learn more at caresource.com/marketplace. CareSource North Carolina Company.
This is where it starts. Where your story begins. This is the trail you blaze yourself. And step by step, you get stronger, faster, better. This is where it starts. How will you finish? Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A lot of mentions of rain, but really not much developing here in terms of accumulating rainfall, less than 1/10 of an inch. So that barely wets the ground. Better chances as you go well south of us, like South Carolina south. This afternoon, a lot of clouds, maybe a passing shower or two. 72 degrees at best chance early because I think the sun's going to try to break out. Then the clouds are going to roll back in later tonight. Maybe some showers around as we drop to 60. Tomorrow, some showers in the morning, patchy fog. Then sunshine, 75. Friday, beautiful day, sunshine 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by NC Medicaid for more people.
My name's Kate Roper. I had a tumor removed from my left ear, and I just enrolled in NC Medicaid. It's probably saving my life.
See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
Most dental insurance covers 2 cleanings and exams a year. Are you making the most of your benefits? With the end of the year approaching, and now is the perfect time to schedule your appointment at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry. Maximize those benefits that you're already paying for. They're accepting new patients, so whether you're due for a checkup or you're just ready to start fresh, Asheville Smiles has you covered. Don't wait. Go ahead and call Asheville Smiles today and keep your smile shining into the new year. You can find out more online at AshevilleSmiles.com. Again, it's AshevilleSmiles.com.
To all you tool people out there, has Harbor Freight got a deal for you? Big savings every single day this November. Because we know that right now, when the price of everything only seems to go up, you need a place where prices stay low. So shop in-store or online for quality tools you can trust at prices you'll love every day. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, the Sportsocracy. Heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. We are seen everywhere on the YouTubes. Welcome into a new day here in the Ingalls studio. On ESPN Asheville, it is a new day because...
New dawn, it's a new day, and I'm feeling good.
You're feeling great, aren't you?
Again.
Isn't that...
There are people just throwing things at the radio right now.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Shut up.
It's fine. You'll get over it. Your life didn't change that much, okay?
It is a different day because it is a Power Rankings Wednesday here in the Sportsocracy. Yesterday, the trade deadline spectacular. We're finally getting into the portion of the power rankings here that, well, maybe some of these moves are going to shake things up here toward the top of the NFL. But we're down to the dirty dozen, and at number 12...
the San Francisco 49ers.
All right, so you're getting Christian McCaffrey back this week, which is a good thing. I mean, I don't... That hasn't become official, I don't think, but that is the thought, is that he's going to be good enough to go this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I have very little faith that he sticks around for a long time. I've seen this injury before. I've never seen somebody come back from it in the same year and not wind up back on the injury report.
Okay, so he's got what, Achilles tendonitis is what they've called. Well, they've labeled this.
Yep.
And it's bad enough that he was pretty limited for, 2 games before he went on the IR for 4 games. Now the window's back open. My problem is, what do you do with him? Like, okay, so you're dealing with injuries in the wide receiver room. Are we going to see Christian McCaffrey splitting out, running routes and such more than he used to? Or are we filling that gap this way? Because I feel like Jordan Mason's earned some playing time here.
Oh, I would agree. I don't think Christian McCaffrey comes back to the same workload that he had.
He shouldn't. He definitely should not come back to a full workload immediately. But it does afford Kyle Shanahan the ability to do some interesting things, knowing that he has another running back capable of McCaffrey-esque games. In that backfield, of course, he's had that before, right? We've seen Jeff Wilson do that in that scheme. We've seen Raheem Mostert. On and on down the line. I think we even saw Tevin Coleman have a couple of those games.
We did.
Back in the day.
I don't often disagree with Vegas. They overvalue San Francisco. This is one of those teams that you're not seeing what's put right in front of your eyes. Where do you think Vegas has San Francisco in the power rankings right now?
I would say probably right around 13, 14, somewhere like that.
You would have been right had you not said the phrase teen. They're 4.
3? Oh, 4.
That's insanity to me. You have a preconceived notion about a team and you're refusing to see what's right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is they don't like Brock Purdy as much as you would think Vegas would. He's only worth a field goal. But they're in love with San Francisco, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I just look at where San Francisco is right now. You're actively the second best offense in the NFL in terms of yards.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're still 4-4. And then I look at what you got coming up. You play the Bucs this week. That's in Tampa Bay. Everybody seems to be down on Todd Bowles. Man, that feels like a spicy spot for a Todd Bowles does that thing Todd Bowles does.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to play at the Packers. You play at the Bills. You got one with the Lions. You go to the Cardinals. I'm starting to look at San Francisco and go, there's not a very easy path where you find a way to be hosting playoff games. I see a path that you're in them, but now you have to, with an inferior quarterback, go on the road and try to beat teams that I believe are better than you.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be really hard to do 3 times. And I don't care if you have Christian McCaffrey back or not. I don't buy you.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the last of the mediocre teams. And there's one that's at 11 that I don't know what to do with them, but I know I think they're better than San Francisco. I know I'm not to you're a high-end contender,
mm-hmm.
but if you told me they got to the conference championship game, I don't think I would be as shocked as everybody else would be.
At number 11,
the Atlanta Falcons. Low-key,
yeah,
this team is really playing well. The offense is humming. And you look at, they've won 5 of 6. Their only loss was a game to Seattle where they just, chose a bad day to have a bad day. Other than that, it's pretty much been a consistently good football team that wins close.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not walking the dog on most of these teams, but that doesn't happen as much as people think it does in the NFL anyway.
Right.
And let's look at where they're at. I like a lot of this team. I wish you had added a pass rusher. To me, they were the loser of the trade deadline because you needed that pass rusher. Whether it was, I don't think New Orleans was giving Chase Young to you, but they might have.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand how you walked away with nothing. Because I think a legit pass rusher, and I'm not saying Myles Garrett or Max Crosby, a legit Zadarius Smith.
I was gonna say, would that have been the move?
I think that would have made you the second best team in the NFC.
Over Washington.
Over Washington, yeah.
Okay. All right.
But they got better, and you didn't. By the way, Matthew Judon has been horror awful.
That would have been a nice piece to add. I I don't know what to think about a team that plays so close with all of these other middling teams. Are you good, or are you just the better of the ishy teams?
Okay, well, under that theory that you just said, you have to be down on Kansas City too, because they do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They play down to mid-tier teams,
mm-hmm.
but you keep winning,
which is an important thing, obviously. And you got a lot of winnable games on the schedule.
You do.
Saints, Broncos, Raiders, Giants, Panthers.
That's another part of this.
That's at least what, 5 more wins? And they're already 6-3.
Mm-hmm. And you're in a division that 10 wins will win.
Yes, I agree.
Because I don't think Tampa Bay's getting to 10 wins. That's a 9-8 football team if I've ever seen one.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the tiebreaker. So there's a possibility, and I don't know what the FPI puts on this. There's a possibility that the Falcons are the 1 seed in the NFC. You got to look at who the Lions have to play.
Yeah.
And I get it. They're fantastic. That schedule is not easy.
There could be a path to that.
If I told you it wasn't the Lions, would you say there was a better chance it was the Philadelphia Eagles or the Atlanta Falcons?
Atlanta Falcons.
I would agree.
I don't know that I'm not on the Washington Commanders, though.
Washington's schedule is pitiful.
Terrible. They don't play – they play the Eagles twice.
That's it.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend, and then they got one at the Eagles, and then they play the Eagles again right around Christmas. Other than that, Cowboys twice, Titans, Saints. They do play the Falcons. So I guess that could be the tiebreaker game.
That's where I was headed with this.
Yeah.
Would you be shocked if they beat Washington, wound up tied, and Atlanta gets tiebreaker? I saw the FPI numbers on Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Detroit. Detroit has like a 35% chance of being the 1 seed in the NFC. The other two are like 14% apiece, which to me is insane. And I kept thinking, it's Washington and Atlanta. Mm-hmm. That's 2 and 3. Because with those schedules and the way they're playing right now, they're going to win a lot of games.
Yep.
Man, I wish you'd added a pass rusher. Or just cut Matthew Judon. I'm not really sure that anybody you put out there could be worse than he has been. So, addition by subtraction.
At number 10.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, Pittsburgh continues to, well, we're going week to week with this quarterback thing.
Which is insanity. Pittsburgh is maddening to me because you don't do anything all that well. Defensively, you T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith well. Cam Hayward well.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much else there. The secondary hasn't been good. You have 2 pass rushers. Your offensive line is mediocre at best. You have a mediocre quarterback. You have 1 legit weapon. You added Mike Williams, who I do think helps. But they just don't make any sense. I can't stand when something does – I can't wrap my brain around something, and Pittsburgh is something I can't wrap my brain around. You shouldn't be good. This team should be 4-5 or 5-4, and they're not.
No. And the schedule has helped them out with that.
Has it, though?
Yeah. I mean, first week against the Falcons. And
you had a broken-down Kirk Cousins that they were forcing to play out of shotgun because they didn't trust him to drop back.
Right.
I think they would beat Atlanta now? No, I don't.
No.
But you did get lucky with when you played them.
Mm-hmm. Second week of the season, beat the Broncos. That's the team that looks better by record, but we know they're not a good team. We've talked about them. The Chargers, they're just now figuring it out. They're just now becoming a good team. And you lost to the Colts and the Cowboys. Then you beat the Raiders. You beat the Jets. You beat the Giants. It's not really the murderer's row that, you're not really facing good teams here.
If that's the case, and I agree with part of what you just said. If that's the case, we're fitting to find out.
Absolutely, because now you got to turn around. This week you're at the Washington Commanders, the hottest team in the NFL besides the Detroit Lions. Then you got to play the Baltimore Ravens. And that's not going to be fun.
You got to go to the Browns and to the Bengals in back-to-back weeks. You get the Browns again. Then you end at the Eagles, at the Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. And that may be a desperate Bengals team to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be rough down the stretch here. This is...
Can I make a sweeping declaration?
Yes.
You mark my words, this is how this is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
That Bengals-Steelers game may be a play-in playoff game. Because I think Pittsburgh's about to lose a series of games. I think Cincinnati's going to win a series of games. And you're going to have 2 playoff spots for 4 teams. Because I think the Colts are going to fade off. I think the Broncos are going to fade off.
Yes.
But I do think you're going to have Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, probably the Jets, at least competitive around there somewhere. I haven't quite figured out who the 4th team's going to be, but I know there will be one. Because there always is.
Your schedule's about to turn up the heat here. And you keep playing this fun little game at quarterback of is it Russ, is it Justin? We know Mike Tomlin's fully in the Russ camp. We feel like everybody else is in the Justin camp. At some point, somebody's going to be wrong here, and who's taking the heat for it? It's only going to be on Mike Tomlin.
I just look at the way you're winning, and I don't think it is replicable. I don't think you're going to beat good teams doing this.
It's all well and good that you start out the season 6-2.
And it's also all well and good that you're in the Russell Wilson camp, and everybody can get behind that as long as you're winning. What happens when he loses 3 in a row? And everybody's going, well, Justin Fields never did that. Justin Fields was dynamic. He's giving us something with his legs. Wasn't turning the ball over. And that could fracture that locker room.
I mean, you start out 6-2 and you end up 9-8. How are you going to feel about this team? They'll be right where we thought they would be, right at the middle of the league. Nothing real special. You get your 9-8 winning season again. It's a very distinct possibility. However, they did add a wide receiver to go along with George Pickens. So did the trade move the needle at all for the Steelers?
It helped. It helped. It gives you another weapon and takes a little heat off George Pickens. The big problem is that you have to keep him upright. And you have to teach him a playbook, which he couldn't learn in New York in 7 months. So, good luck.
All right, Mike Williams now with the Pittsburgh Steelers, formerly of the New York Jets, formerly of the team at number 9. We'll tell you who that is coming up next.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
Super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
To all you tool people out there, has Harbor Freight got a deal for you? Big savings every single day this November. Because we know that right now, when the price of everything only seems to go up, you need a place where prices stay low. So shop in-store or online for quality tools you can trust at prices you'll love every day. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. To all you tool people out there, has Harbor Freight got a deal for you? Big savings every single day this November. Because we know that right now, when the price of everything only seems to go up, you need a place where prices stay low. So shop in-store or online for quality tools you can trust at prices you'll love every day. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at Parks Ford Hendersonville.
Safe spaces. It's all going to be just fine. Just carry on, and just enjoy. Just tap out, right? Just tap out and enjoy this here tomfoolery every day in the sportsocracy.
It's acceptable to call out of work today. Just take a mental health day.
Hey, some schools are closed. Like, right? You read that story about what was that in the New York schools? I think they were California schools this morning that we heard that were closed.
Yeah, and I would like to say something to those kids that are so upset that they'd stay home from school today. Grow up! You don't know your head from a hole in the ground. Go to school and learn a book.
It is the sportsocracy.
I love that he played that song because it set such a somber tone for me to just come out yelling and vitriol and because I'm a jerk.
Week 10 NFL Power Rankings. We're up to the number 9 team in the NFL right now, and it's a team that is starting to figure some things out. We know that they were talented. How high can they climb? Number 9.
Go Chargers, go!
The Los Angeles Chargers, they're trying to find that balance between heavy run game and using Justin Herbert to his abilities.
I feel like their current game plan is decided by a dartboard every week of, hey, what are we going to do this week? Who knows? Let the Magic 8 Ball decide. Have you looked at Justin Herbert's game logs?
Not intently.
They're comically inconsistent. But there is a pattern that you can find if you look hard enough.
Okay.
They're figuring out that the 12 for 18 that he was against Pittsburgh, that don't work.
Mm-hmm.
This is not 2014 NFL. This is 2024 NFL. So you're getting to a point now. What's encouraging to me is that he's starting to run a little bit more. And I'm talking about Justin Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is an integral part of what he does. And it was almost like Jim Harbaugh was telling him not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I like where they're headed. I don't think they have the talent yet.
Do you think that was an intentional thing of we're going to slowly roll this out till you get more comfortable in the scheme, right? Because, I mean, that's crucially important. A mobile quarterback is crucially important to the Greg Roman style. So did they just kind of ease him into that on purpose, or was this?
I don't know.
Just we're trying to figure it out, and hey, let's try this.
I don't think Greg Roman's a very good offensive coordinator, and it would not shock me if they were trying to keep him in the pocket for some specific reason. I don't know what that reason would be. But I look at the Chargers now and go, man, that's not a fun team to play. I don't know how good they are. This feels right in terms of where they slot into a power rankings. I mean, because, look, they do have a decent win.
Mm-hmm.
They smoked Denver like a deli meat. That's not a good team. But other than that, you beat New Orleans, Cleveland, Carolina, and Vegas. Yeah, sorry, it's not sending me. But I'm at least seeing a competent enough offense and a competent enough defense that I see how you're going to beat good teams. Now you're going to have to do that. And do you have a lot of faith that they will?
No. I don't, because I look at the schedule and go, I mean, it's not terrifying, right? The Bengals are not as terrifying as they were preseason, because you think my offense can kind of have its way with that defense if we so choose.
They play a lot of teams that are in their weight class. They punch below their weight class a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
They only play 2 teams that I think are just legit, straight up better than you. That's Kansas City and Baltimore. If we chalk those up as losses, that puts you at 5. You basically decide your own fate by playing teams that are in your weight class, because you play the Bengals, you play the Falcons, you play the Buccaneers, you play the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to beat the Patriots and the Raiders and the Titans. Those other 4 games that I just said, that's what decides your season. Because if you lose all 4 of those, you're going to go 8-9. If you split them, you're going to go 10-7. That's probably good enough to make the playoffs in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not positive of that.
Right. Now you look at that Bengals game, you can go up, you can run the ball against that team. You look at the Buccaneers game, they're not really going to let you run the ball, but you're going to torch that secondary with Justin Herbert. So, I mean, even in these games that you say they're playing in their own weight class, you've got a little bit of an advantage to lean on in those games.
I don't agree with you.
Really?
I don't think they are. I don't think they're drastically better than the teams I just said. That's why I think you're in a great position if you're the Chargers, because you decide your own fate. I don't need anybody else to do squat for me. I can play my way there. You just have to keep getting better week by week. And you also have to avoid the very stereotypical Los Angeles Charger pitfall, which would be losing to the Titans or losing to the New England Patriots late in the season. You don't have the margin for error for that. Win the games you're supposed to. Don't worry so much about the fact you're probably going to get annihilated by the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Maybe. That's another team that they could be the one that step up and beat the Chiefs.
I've already seen that game, and I at no point felt like I saw anything that made me think it was going to be any different than it was the first time.
Chargers at 9. Number 8, we are going up to the north.
The Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
Man, I love your roster, 2-53.
Yeah.
It's that one that's still bothering me.
Old Jordan?
It's old 1-0. He's not a winning quarterback to me. He never has been. I've said it 10,000 times. He's better than I thought he was. He ain't that much better than I thought he was. He finds a way to lose games just as often as he finds a way to win them. And with the talent around him, this should not be as hard as you're making.
No. At least so far, those moments and those losses have come against teams that, well, I guess you got an excuse to lose to. Right? The Eagles game at the beginning of the season, that was a back and forth kind of lucky deal at the end of the game. You lost to the Vikings in a very close one, and you didn't look close at all to the Detroit Lions, but you were playing in a monsoon.
At home.
Oh, I get that you were at home.
That's beneficial to you, not them.
With a hurt Jordan Love, and how much that limited him and what he was able to do throughout the game, the Lions were just flat out better than you. Other than that, you've taken advantage against some iffy teams. The one win against the Texans is the only one that you can stick out and go, okay, you beat a good team there. Or did you? Or are you just the next in line to beat a team that really not sure how to win tough games?
Green Bay is a young team with a young quarterback that is getting the experience under the belt every single week. I could say practically the same thing I said about the Chargers, about the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, look at how many teams on that schedule are within your weight class.
Mm-hmm.
You play the Bears twice. You play the Vikings again. You play the Seahawks. You play the Lions again. That's punching up. 49ers and the Dolphins. Those are all at least competent teams. You only play one completely incompetent team, and that's the New Orleans Saints. You only got one layup victory. You get to 10 or 11 wins, you will have earned it. And I think that helps. When we talk about Washington, I'm going to talk about the fact that, well, their schedule's terrible. You're not going to have beaten anybody, and I don't really know exactly what you are. Green Bay, I don't want you doing that. I've already seen you do that. You did that last year. And you got to the playoffs, and it worked, and Jordan got a start under his belt. He got actually 2 starts under his belt because you destroyed the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
But then you basically beat yourself against San Francisco. I need you to get more comfortable. I need the interceptions to come down. And if you do that, you can be a very unpleasant team to play in January. I don't think you're to Super Bowl territory yet. But you're not that far off if you can find a way to keep this team together as they grow.
Mm-hmm. All right, one more before the bottom of the hour break, and then that'll leave us with the top 6 when we come back from the break. At number 7,
the Houston Texans. I don't know what to do with you. You make my head hurt like a whole lot. The line's bad. The Jets just abused C.J. Stroud for 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And the bad thing is, look how many teams that you're going to have to beat in the AFC can do the same thing. The Buffalo Bills can do that. The Kansas City Chiefs can do that.
Mm-hmm.
The Los Angeles Chargers can do that. And I'm starting to think this build for Houston has a ceiling as it sits. Your defense is good enough in places. It's not good enough in other places. Your quarterback is good enough. I think your weapons, when healthy, are good enough. And I love the addition of Joe Mixon. The problem is that it falls into the trenches, and your trenches are not good. And you're going to have to beat teams that can get after quarterbacks. That's going to be hard for you to do.
Mm-hmm. Sunday Night Football this week, one of the highlights of the week. Houston Texans against the Detroit Lions. That'll be a big game. Between those two, unfortunately, I'm not sure I like that for Houston.
God,
I mean, you're already coming up.
Stylistically, I
Really?
love this matchup for them so much more
Why?
than the Jets. Because what does Detroit not actively do very well right now? Rush quarterbacks. This, in terms of style, if I'm the Houston Texans, I would rather play the Detroit Lions than the New York Jets. They have 7 pass rushers that can hit me at any given time, and one of them comes up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit has 2 pretty good run stuffers up the middle. Only one of them is a plus pass rusher. I still think Detroit's going to win this game, but I think this game's going to be so much closer.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, to me, is a markedly better team. I don't think they're blowing out Houston.
And now your number 1 pass rush threat for the Detroit Lions, just coming in 4 days of practice.
Yeah, I don't really care about that. Pass rusher, I don't care. See ball, get ball.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain positions that, yeah, you can show up on Wednesday, and I'm fine. Pass rusher is one of those. Running back is one of those. Kicker is one of those. Quarterback is not. Receiver is really not. I think Zadarius Smith will probably play 35 to 45 snaps.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's enough to do what the Jets did to make Houston look so mediocre. You got to lean on Joe Mixon. This is kind of a benchmark game for Houston, and it's really going to change where public narrative is. If you get housed for a second week in a row in primetime, you're done. Mm-hmm. Public sentiment will be so far off of you, and your confidence will have taken such a hit that I don't know that you can recover from it.
Well, that's where a good coach comes in.
I agree.
Good
you have one of those.
Yeah, you got a good coach that can rally the troops after a setback like that. So, I mean, they're not done, and I don't think the confidence is killed. Will it take a hit? Sure. But then when you beat the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World the next week by 600 points, then maybe you'll feel a little bit better. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, the top 6 in the Week 10 Power Rankings. Coming up next.
We have the last 6, and we have an announcement at the end of the show that directly affects people here in the Asheville area.
Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A lot of inches of rain, but really not much developing here in terms of accumulating rainfall, less than 1/10 of an inch. So that barely wets the ground. Better chances as you go well south of us, like South Carolina south. This afternoon, a lot of clouds, maybe a passing shower or two. 72 degrees at best chance early because I think the sun's going to try to break out. Then the clouds are going to roll back in later tonight. Maybe some showers around as we drop to 60. Tomorrow, some showers in the morning, patchy fog. Then sunshine, 75. Friday, beautiful day, sunshine 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Hurry in now to Apple Tree Acura for deals on the full lineup of 2024 Acuras, including the RDX, MDX, and Integra. Apple Tree Acura is committed to offering you professional service and a great experience. Shop online at AppleTreeSuperstore.com and in person, I-26 and Airport Road, Asheville.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new reimagined Nissan Kicks with an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at NissanUSA.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
When you're ready to go back in the day,
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
check out the all-new Throwbacks 101.1.
This is how we do it.
Allow me to introduce myself. Asheville's classic hip-hop and R&B. Come on.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my
I
life.
couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
This is where it starts. Where your story begins. This is the trail you blaze yourself. And step by step, you get stronger, faster, better. This is where it starts. How will you finish? Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Take all this, burn it, okay? Gasoline, kerosene, either one. Burn it.
That's not the song I said to come back with. You know what song to play. It's the only fitting song today.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if he can read my mind. There it is. There it is. I will.
Well,
I'll never forget you.
Not fondly.
No matter how hard I try or how many beers I drink, I'll never forget you. If you can take a joke, watch our social medias over the next 2 days because I got some doozies coming.
It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. And Power Rankings Tuesday. We're into the top 6. At number 6,
the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
I feel like 6 and 5 are practically the same team.
Okay, at number 5.
The Washington Commanders.
Now, why are they the same?
Well, because I think your defense is a little bit of smoke and mirrors with both of you.
Okay.
And I'm afraid that good quarterbacks are going to hurt you, and you're getting in shootouts. Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, talent-wise. Sam's also been in the league 7 years. Jaden Daniels been in the league 7 games. There's a big difference between those two things. I kind of look at you the same of beyond a shadow of a doubt, you're a year ahead of where anybody. I don't care how often you wear their merchandise. I don't care how often you're in their stadium. You never thought they would be at this point this year.
No.
You're playing with house money. And that makes you dangerous as all get out because you got nothing to lose. Those two teams make the playoffs, successful year. I don't care if you get beat 67-6 in the first round of the playoffs. I don't care. Is win.
Yeah.
You have both found franchise quarterbacks. I don't think that's even debatable at this point. And you've got the pieces around them. Now, you need more. One of you is getting ready to have to, pull out the old checkbook for Sammy D, MVP. God, I can't wait to see him get $100 million and me just sit back and go, told you.
Wow.
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah. Oh, I don't doubt it.
It's 100% happening.
I don't doubt it. What, 3 years? I mean, he's not going 40, is he?
I would say, oh, yeah. Oh, I would say that's 4 at 160. Probably half guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean,
incredibly front-loaded.
Continue the pace that you're on.
And
we'll
by the
have
way,
no problem with
here's
it.
another really positive thing for the Minnesota Vikings. You probably have the best quarterback prospect in this class. He's sitting on your bench, waiting to figure out where his career is actually going to take him.
Mm-hmm. And that's a big old chip to have going into this offseason. J.J. McCarthy.
I won't be shocked if they get a pick in the top 10 for him. And then some.
Really? New York Giants.
That's the one I keep coming back to because it does make a lot of sense. And I know they had positive feelings about him. I don't think any of those people are going to be there. But I do feel like Minnesota just you sign Darnold to the extension, and then you look at every team and go, it's a buyer's market.
Mm-hmm.
At closing time, Caitlin Cankles is a 7. Just throwing that out there.
Tennessee Titans, listen up.
I don't know that Titan fans would love that. Hey, we have another project quarterback. Awesome. That last one worked out so good.
Can't be worse than Will Levis, can it?
I don't think he fits with what Brian Callahan wants. To me, Cam Ward's the perfect fit in Tennessee.
With the arm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there are multiple places that J.J. McCarthy would fit.
Mm-hmm. So Minnesota not only has quarterback of the future, they also have many winnable games left on this schedule. It is not a hard schedule by any stretch.
No.
The Washington Commanders are in the same boat, though.
Yeah.
Because there's not very many losable games.
Both of these teams are going to win a lot of games. They're going to go into the playoffs, and they're going to be a dog to whoever they play.
Mm-hmm.
They just are. I mean, Washington's going to play a game at home. Minnesota's probably not.
Unless they end up playing each other.
Which is possible. And you talk about just a hootenanny.
Fun.
That right there would be a hootenanny.
Hopefully a healthy Marshawn Lattimore on Justin Jefferson in a playoff game.
Styles make fights. That'd be the best one of wild card weekend. I don't even need to know the other 5.
Could be a whole lot of fun. I'm firmly on the Washington Commanders bandwagon. I gave it several weeks of, okay, maybe this is just not. Maybe this is not going to end. Maybe this is Jaden Daniels is the real deal that Jeremy said he was coming into this draft class. Oh, we need to tighten that up a little bit.
Yeah, I think my bell is.
It's like all sideways and stuff. Like somebody sat on it. Did was that sitting in your chair at some point? Did you have an Uber driver bring that in his keister?
There's only one way that this bell could be this dilapidated, and it means that bell is forever unclean.
Let's go with number 4 in the Week 10 Power Rankings.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
You remember that time, like, I don't know, it was 10 weeks ago when we were just talking about how this was over and Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills weren't going to be an actual contender.
Funny you should mention that. I don't think anything's changed there.
Oh, you think this is smoke
Do you,
and mirrors
honest to
right
God,
now?
believe that the Buffalo Bills could beat any of the 3 teams in front of them on this list? You can see who they are.
I know. I don't.
I don't either.
I don't, but I still didn't think
they
you were
would
going to be this good.
consistently beat the teams below them.
Mm-hmm.
For me, there are 3 Super Bowl contenders. One of them I don't buy at all. The other 2, I buy a lot. And Buffalo ain't one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You got a great quarterback. You've had a great quarterback. This is the worst supporting cast he's ever had. This is the worst defense he's ever had. And I stick by everything I said. You know what I undervalued? Just how damn good Josh Allen actually is. Of which, you know what? If you don't want to vote Sammy D MVP, you just can't bring your mouth to say those words. I get it. You're a hater, but I get it.
Was there
Josh Allen's the answer.
Mm-hmm. Was there a part of you that was surprised that they were not involved in one more deal before the trade deadline happened?
Not really. They have no money. I was shocked they were involved in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I still maintain I don't know exactly what it is Amari Cooper's going to bring you. You got a 1A, 1B situation. All right, you got weapons. Does that make you a contender to beat the Chiefs? I don't think so. Does it make you a contender to beat the team at number 3? Not really.
Probably not in the playoffs. Regular season, maybe.
For sure.
Maybe you can up and beat the Chiefs in a couple of weeks.
Go win 12 games again and get to the playoffs, and then what?
And then hope to God Josh Allen keeps playing the way he's playing.
Hope that aliens show up in the battle of the Chiefs and the Ravens and abducts both of them.
But is this not more MVP level Josh Allen that you've been expecting? At some point,
he's the same player. He's just not turning the ball over.
Yeah, at some point, he was going to figure it out. Ball security has always been his big problem, and this year it's not.
Nope.
And hopefully it won't be going down the stretch of the season.
I would love to see Buffalo win a Super Bowl. I would love it.
Mm-hmm.
That Lucy has pulled that football from out underneath me enough times. I ain't swinging again.
Yep. Number 3.
The Baltimore Ravens.
All right, this is the one you don't believe in as an actual Super Bowl contender?
They're an actual Super Bowl contender. I have the same problem in Baltimore that I have in Buffalo. Okay, what are you better at now than you have been in the past that makes me think you're going to go into Arrowhead and beat Pat Mahomes? I ain't seen it.
Are they not better at running the ball?
They've always been good at running the ball.
I know that they've always been good at running the ball.
You have the most dynamic runner you've ever had, but okay. You think you're going to Derrick Henry your way into beating Pat Mahomes? Because if you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you. I still look at your weapons and go, you got one. You got one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Deontay Johnson is a nice addition. And I think by the time the playoffs roll around, he will be acclimated enough to help. I still don't see you beating Kansas City. What have you ever done that would make me think you were going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Because every year you go into the playoffs and you let down. I think they're a great team.
Yep.
With a flawed build. My best friend on this planet was the biggest Lamar Jackson supporter I've ever met in my life. Thought he should have been the number 1 pick in that draft. And he and I went round and round for 2 hours about Lamar Jackson. Oh, you were wrong about him. You're right. I was wrong to a point. I still maintain he will never win a Super Bowl. I don't think you can win a quarterback with a guy that's that thin and plays that way.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see it. I've never seen a quarterback do it. I don't have any reason to believe it's going to happen now.
Yeah.
Now, when you've got Pat on the other side, old Kermit T. Frog, that's just waiting to mush your face.
It's hard to believe that somebody with that much talent, that has been as good as he is, 2-time MVP, could be 3-4-time MVP by the time his career is over. Because, I mean, he's still got a whole lot of good football in him as long as he stays healthy. It's hard to believe that you can't put the pieces around him to win. I think you can. I don't know that you have it right now. And I wish I could call, Steve Bisciotti or John Harbaugh and tell them what piece that is to give them the title again. But it's really what I think it's going to come down to is Lamar just having an otherworldly run like Joe Flacco did.
Stephen Tao, our resident Baltimore Raven fan, said it is a unusual feeling to have an excrementy defense.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem, is that I've seen you with a good defense get carved up by Pat Mahomes. I have no reason to think he ain't going to do it to this.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, Tre'Davious White ain't changing my opinion on that.
No.
Not in any way.
I mean,
now, all of this is not to say that they're a bad team. I don't like the build. Is there a possibility that I'm wrong at some point? Sure. But I'm batting 1,000 so far.
Mm-hmm.
And until I'm not, I have a reason to be skeptical.
Number 2.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, I did it.
Yes.
You almost lost to Todd freaking Bowles. Mm-hmm. Detroit's better than you. Accept it. I don't care what your record is. You keep playing with your food, and I'm looking around at Kansas City going, you know what? I've seen Detroit beat you before. I don't see actively what you're better at now than you have been in the past. We talk about your defense. Your defense was pretty good last year. You usually got carved up by Baker Mayfield in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I have a reason to go, I'm not sure that's one. Now, that's the negative. Here's the positive. You and Detroit are so far out in front of everybody else that short of an alien abduction, I don't see how we don't have you two in the Super Bowl. You've been there. They haven't. Mm-hmm. And that does give you an advantage. It doesn't mean you're a better team. And right now, I think, go ahead and say it.
What?
The final number.
Number 1.
The Detroit Lions. I think they're better than you. I think Detroit is the most balanced team in the NFL.
I agree. But it's the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs keep on winning, regardless of how many ever reasons you can give them every week that they shouldn't win. They still find ways to come up with wins. It's what great teams do. It's not going to stop. They will go into every game expected to win. Until at some point that magic leaves them.
Do you know what this reminds me of?
The Patriots.
But which year of the Patriots? It's a very specific team.
Is it the Randy Moss team?
No.
The undefeated team?
No,
I've heard you make that comparison before.
And that's the comparison there is that I don't think they're going to lose a game in the regular season. They're going to lose the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's the comp there. This team reminds me so much of the 2017-18 Patriots. That's the team that lost to the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
All right.
Because I looked at you and went, you're flawed. Like from the top down, this roster's flawed. It's not going to matter because there's only a handful of quarterbacks that can beat your quarterback, and they're flawed too. Buffalo, back into your defense, is not great.
Mm-hmm.
Your weapons are not elite. Baltimore, part due. See previous.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're going to come up against that team that you don't have to play. That team that you don't know. That team that has the hotshot offensive coordinator that's going to be a head coach in the NFL. You're starting to see the similarities in what I'm...
Sure.
And then they come out and throw everything at you but the kitchen sink. And you just can't beat it because they're better than you. I started seeing the similarities a couple weeks ago, and now I can't get it out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel the same way about Kansas City that I did that New England team. You're the best of the broken toys. There's only one toy that I feel like is completely intact, and they're the Buzz Lightyear that's about to mess you up because they're on a mission. That Philadelphia team felt like it was on a mission because you had Carson Wentz that was going to be the MVP of the league till he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Then Nick Foles comes in, and it's all just kind of stays hunky-dunky because that team was so good. I kind of look at Detroit the same way. They can run it down your throat. They can throw it all over the yard. They have the most creative play caller in the NFL. Oh, and by the way, the defense is markedly improved.
Mm-hmm.
And they got dogs over there.
And Jared Goff is good enough to win a Super Bowl, but Lamar Jackson's not?
You name me the team that Lamar Jackson's ever had around him like this.
Mm-hmm.
Name me the time he's ever had the best play caller in the NFL. Because they're going to tell you it's never happened. Lamar could get to that point. I think he's obviously a better player than Jared Goff. Detroit has been built masterfully. Tomorrow, in this time slot, we will not be here. My opening rant, because I'm going to do an uncensored live stream. The guys seem to enjoy it, so I'll do it from Mullet Manor tomorrow.
Yep.
My opening rant is about the Detroit Lions and how this team was built and how bad teams can look at that and apply it to their own team. Mm-hmm. Baltimore, I'm going to draw a parallel there. So I'm glad you said that. We also have an announcement to make before we get out of here.
We do. We are going to be back on the road with the Living the Dream tour. However, it's more of a staycation, really.
Fact. Corey Short and the guys at Silverados did such incredible things. They have started a nonprofit. And so we are going to do an all-day live stream from the social. We will do 2 shows from the social, from the truck, which will be there. And we'll be hanging out and having merriment. And Tennessee, Georgia will be on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
And people that do not live in Asheville will have the ability to contribute directly to the charity. You can come by, hang out with us. They're going to have some food specials. We just narrowed all this down yesterday. So I don't have all of the details. But Tank and I will be there the whole day.
10 days from now, weekend after this coming.
And then at the end, I'm going to get real sauced up and sing Country Roads karaoke. Let's go. Great again.
And I'm sure at some point we'll all do Rocky Top.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's for sure happening.
Win,
we'll
lose, or
have
draw.
a full show sing-along with just every – good God, we're going to have 57 Ubers. If you work for Uber, call me.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN. Asheville will be an off day tomorrow on ESPN. Jeremy will have the live stream from Mullet Manor. We will be back with you, though, at noon on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 on Friday for a
Football Friday.
We will see you then.
Summit Dental gives you dental visits without the anxiety. Hey, it's Mark Starling from First News on 570, and that's what they did for me. You know, your comfort is their priority, and they do all they can to put you at ease and personalize that experience. Summit Dental's complimentary comfort menu includes items like aromatherapy, heated neck wraps, and blankets. Dr. Reinhardt and his staff make your dental experience comfortable and one that you understand, moving at your pace and letting you know what they're doing before they do it. Learn more about why Summit Dental is 5-star rated on Google.
Haywood Regional Medical Center is thrilled to welcome primary care physician Dr. Tony Lee to our staff this fall. Dr. Lee will practice family medicine at our new Haywood Family Practice Asheville location on Acton Circle, just off the Enka Candler exit on I-40. Dr. Lee is a local doctor returning home, bringing his expertise in primary care, a passion for prevention, and a commitment to lasting relationships with patients. Call 800-424-DOCS for an appointment. That's 800-424-DOCS or visit haywoodmedicalgroup.com.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A lot of mentions of rain, but really not much developing here in terms of accumulating rainfall, less than 1/10 of an inch. So that barely wets the ground. Better chances as you go well south of us, like South Carolina south. This afternoon, a lot of clouds, maybe a passing shower or two. 72 degrees, that best chance early because I think the sun's going to try to break out. Then the clouds are going to roll back in later tonight. Maybe some showers around as we drop